everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, I've had a busy day today, so much so that I couldn't start reacting early this morning. I was running around doing all kinds of shopping. I think I walked about 2 miles today. My feet hurt, but it's a good kind of hurt. Getting out in the sunshine and the warmth, it's just good for you. So, I got my daily dose of sunshine and exercise and my lunch and I got my iced coffee. So it is time to sit down and react to Chantal because last night she went live very late. She's been doing that a lot lately, going live late. I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with her data plan or electricity or something. I don't know. But she went live really late. And the title of her live was Things Are Getting Worse, the Reality of Living in a War Zone. Y'all know I'm going to go off on her, right? Yes, I am. I'm so going to go off on her in this react because she deserves it. She deserves it because I am absolutely disgusted with her. She made the decision to go to Syria. It was her choice. Nobody forced her to go over there. She had the choice to stay in Canada and rebuild her life all over again. And she could have. I believe that her stepdad and her mom co signed on the apartment to get her into the apartment. All she had to do was just stay and do her live streams and make some quality content. And she could have stayed in Canada. But she didn't want to for a couple of reasons. First reason, because the tax man is still following her and they want their money. Second reason, because she was in Canada and she didn't have a man by her side, although she could have called on Pete's. Pete's has been waiting for her to call upon him to be her companion again. But that'll never happen because she's already conquered that mountain and it's not a challenge anymore. So she can't have Nader. Then who's left? Salah. And Salah was thousands of miles away. And I've talked about this before, the sunk cost fallacy. And both Salah and Foodie suffer from the sunk cost fallacy. So for those that don't know what that is, sunk cost fallacy is when you've invested, say, a lot of money or a lot of time or a lot of energy into something and it's just not panning out. You're not getting the fruits of your labor or your money or your time out of it. And you should just stop and just cut ties and keep walking. But it's because you've invested so much time and energy and money into something that you just can't let go. You are dog determined to get something good out of all the time or money or whatever you spent on it. So Salah and Foodie, they both look at each other as the sunk cost fallacy. He's looking at her like, I spent 3 years with you and I want something out of this and I'm going to hang on until I get something out of this. And she feels the same way about Salah. In her mind, she owns him and she paid for him. Therefore, he is her property. So she doesn't want to let go. If she let go of Salah, who's going to replace him? There's no one around. There's nobody standing in a line waiting to be next to Foodie. He is literally all she has left as far as male companionship. And she doesn't have the income that she used to go out and start again and find another sugar baby. So she's going to stick with the sugar baby that she's invested 3 years in. So she decided to fly her butt all the way to Syria with all the conflict going on, and it's getting much more intense. And I'll show you guys clips and stuff on Twitter that shows that. As a matter of fact, 3 days ago, Shantel did a vlog showing a very big building. I believe it was a ministry building. That building is no more. That building is gone. Now, Shantel said before that the conflict was an hour away from her. Well, it's not an hour away from her anymore. It's getting ever closer. And yet, she's still hanging on to the idea of it was a good idea to come here. It was not a bad choice. And here's the sickening part. She is trying to romanticize being in Syria, romanticize the idea of I'm with my husband in a war zone and we're sticking together. And at the same time, monetize it as evidenced by the live stream and the title of her live stream. Things are getting worse. The reality of living in a war zone. I said before, and I'll say it again. I think Foodie thought or does think that because she's in Syria and things are really intense over there, that is going to lead to a boost in her views and a boost in super chats, that people are going to feel sorry for her and send her more money. Although I don't know if that's entirely successful, but I do think it's sick and disgusting to use conflict going on in an area and the suffering of other people as a way to get attention and make money on YouTube. But that's just my opinion. So she did her live stream last night and she was complaining about different things, and there was all kinds of drama popping off in the chat. There are different beezers that are just vying for her attention, although they all need to sit down and have a seat because it's just silly. A bunch of grown people fighting for a grown person's attention. I mean, how old are we? So there's just all kinds of stuff. But this might be one of my longer reacts simply because yesterday I did my react video. I screwed it up. My microphone was off. And thank you to the wonderful subs that were letting me know, because I'm like, really? I sat there and did a react and the sound didn't show up. My microphone just blooped on me. Oh, man. That's okay. Sometimes it's good to redo things. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. We can redo it. I'm good with that. We'll keep it pushing. What else? Which other choice we got? So this might be one of the longer reacts. I promise if she starts to get boring and she talks about food, I'm zipping ahead. I got a lot of stuff to do today and work tonight. I ain't got time for all this nonsense. So y'all know what time it is. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Twitter peeps. So let's go. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps. Let me just go ahead and share the screen. I am so ready today. I'm on it. All right. So for those of you on Twitter that you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And if you're someone and Twitter just ain't your thing, I get it. It can be like the Wild West sometimes, but I still do the Twitter peeps. So those of you not on Twitter, you can keep up with all the Twitter stuff without being there. So I hope you enjoy. So let's start here with a post courtesy of Bad Seed saying, Foodie Beauty, this moron thinks she is safe at home. It's laughable. Okay, this is a screenshot. And this is really sad. Reading this made me really, really sad. Quote, they're breaking into homes, looting everything. People are dying in the streets. There's no food, no baby milk, no medicine, and no one is coming to help, end quote. It says, I'm in Armand Village. The streets are full of heavily armed men. Iman Mahmoud, a 55-year-old educator, told the Media Line, they're breaking into homes, looting everything. People are dying in the streets. The National Hospital, Al Salam and Al Mazraz are all cut off. There's no food, no baby milk, no medicine, and no one is coming to help. That makes me so sad. That is heavy. I pray for the people who are going through war. That's terrible. Dave's World, You're Just Visiting, says, it's not romantic when you are R-word tortured hostage, Foodie Beauty. Some of these people don't know the evils of war. You're not always lucky to DIE in an instant. Here's one of the comments from one of her delusional beezers, backing up Foodie on the idea that it's okay to be in Syria. Y'all check this out. Arashi says, I think it's romantic and loyal of you to be together in Salah's homeland. Don't let the jealous haters run you off. Garlic bread thinks you should run away like a coward. He wouldn't know a loving marriage if he tripped over one. Salah will protect you in his home. He's a real man who would never send away his devoted wife. I wouldn't leave my husband's side either. Oh, you know I'm going to tear this one apart. This one is ripe to be torn apart verbally. So, Arashi, Shantel flying to a war zone to be with Salah, that's just romantic, right? That's real romantic. Let me tell you something. If Salah cared about Foodie just a little bit, even on a friendship level, he would have forbidden her from going to Syria. If he cared about her at all, he would have said, you know what? I know you want to be here, but it's just way too dangerous. And I don't want to put you in the middle of danger. I care about you too much. You're in Canada. You're safe. Stay there. Don't you come over here. Don't you do it. If he cared about her, even as a friend, he would have forbidden her from coming over, but he didn't. He let her come on over. And why? Because he wanted her money. He wanted access to her money. And he knew far away, he couldn't get access to her money. And he also knew far away, if Foodie has access to her money, she's going to spend it foolishly. I mean, she was back in the land of milk and honey with all of her temptations, with the edibles, with the food, with everything else. You leave Foodie alone with her paycheck, within a week, it's going to be gone. So if he wanted even a portion of that paycheck, he has to be right there controlling the money. Next part. Garlic bread thinks you should run away like a coward. He wouldn't know a loving marriage if he tripped over one. Ma'am or sir. I don't know if Arashi, if you're a man or a woman. First of all, Foodie and Salah are not really married, okay? And if they are, it is a sad, sad marriage. Two people that are married for convenience, and there's no intimacy going on. There's no loving bond. There's no connection. What kind of marriage is that? What is that? A marriage is supposed to be between two people who really love each other and want to spend the rest of their lives together, and they function as a team. Those two don't function as a team. It is a business arrangement. It is a business transaction and has been from the very beginning. She wanted an on-camera husband. To get that, she had to pay for one. She wanted to play house with Salah. She wanted everyone to believe somebody actually loves me so much, they married me. And yet every time we've seen those two on camera, it's so awkward. It's just so awkward. Even after 3 years, it's still so awkward. He's a real man who would never send away his devoted wife. If he was a real man who loved his wife, again, like I said, he would not have told her to come over at all. I mean, any person out there, you're married to your mate. If you're in a dangerous place, you're not going to encourage your mate to come join you there. You're going to think of them and say, stay where you are. At least I'll have the comfort of knowing that at least you're safe if I'm not safe. So yeah, the Beezer is romanticizing war. It's so romantic. The two of you are like Jack and Rose in the Titanic. Give me a break. This is really real stuff. What's going on in Syria is really real stuff. This is not a movie. This is not a TV show. This is not a reality show. This is the real thing. And yet you Beezers and Foodie, you're all thinking that it's just some sort of a movie plot, and it's not. This is the real thing. Florida Salt and Sass says all she had to do was wait a few weeks, and she could have been paying Nads to fake love her again. That's got to burn. So the news is Dee Dee put out a long community post saying that her and Nader had broken up. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if it's real. It could be a lie for all we know. It could be Nader and Dee Dee baiting Foodie for some reason. But she said, yeah, we're broken up. So what does that mean, Dee Dee? I mean, Nader lived with you. Does that mean he's moving out of the apartment? Because that is your apartment. Is he still there? I bet he's still there. He's an opportunist. He lived with you. So if he's all about living off of women, so if he's broken up with you, does that mean he's out of your house? I don't think so. I think he would need to line up another mark before he left your house. So even if y'all are broken up, he's still there. Fondue Spider Beach says, Foodie Beauty chat ate with no crumbs. And Teardrop, you simp. All right. I'm going to say it. I understand everybody wanting to troll Chantal. I get that part. I understand that she's frustrating. I understand that she makes you mad. But is it a good idea to give her money? Chantal, it doesn't matter if you like her or not. Money is money. It all goes into her bank account. So is it a good idea to reward bad behavior? I say no. I can't tell people what to do with their money. But you know what happens when you reward bad behavior? They keep acting badly. And there's not a doggone thing that anybody is going to say to Foodie that's going to make her upset or is going to wake her up from who she is or how she acts. So why give her money? That's just my opinion, though. But let's look at the super chats regardless. Smee's #1 fan says, no more Canada for you. Siri forever, well deserved. This person also says, no toothbrush needed for where you are going. Did says, can't believe you still think Salah loves you. And of course, Teardrop was in the chat. Got to prove that she's Foodie's #1 fan. All right. Wonder Mom says, can we talk? Dying for a man that doesn't care for you is not heroic or cute or romantic. It's stupid. And you'll become a joke for eternity. This is not a TV show. You are not the star. Take Julia and go. I bet you will find a new desperate male in no time. Well, I don't even know if she can go. I have heard the borders are closed, and I'm sure that the airspace is also closed. So if the borders are closed, and if the airspace is closed, how is she going to leave? I don't see how she can do it. I think she's got to stay where she's at until the borders open back up. But she keeps saying, I can leave anytime I want to. I'd like to see you try. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that the airports were still open and they were still doing flights. I can only imagine that there'd be a lot of people wanting to fly and get out of there right about now. So how in the world would she find a flight that she could get on? Kristen says, tone deaf glutton, Foodie Beauty shopping for groceries in a worn, torn country. So she put out a vlog today of her going for groceries with all the stuff going on. And I'm wondering if the reason why she went out and got groceries is because things are getting really intense over there. And if you're going to get food, you better get it now. But we'll go over that vlog later. We'll just save that for later because I got a feeling this react's going to be long as it is. Piggy says, looks like Cutie has been packing on the KFG. Yeah, Foodie's been insisting that she's losing weight. Here's the thing. I don't know if she's losing weight. I think she's gaining. But when a person loses weight, the first place you will notice the weight loss is usually in the face. Now, I remember her back during Crackhead Olympics when she was on the Coca-Cola. You could actually see the weight loss. You could see more of her cheekbones and her ears weren't plastered against her head. You could actually see the weight coming off. I don't see any weight loss here. I don't see any physical evidence that she's losing weight. In fact, she might be gaining weight. We'll only know if she gets on the scale, and that will be never. Wholesome moments. The way she turns and looks at you just gets me every time. She is not only beautiful, but she's so smart and so dramatic. This is so my life with Queen Booger. Y'all, if anybody out there, you got a dog, you got a cat, can you relate to me? I bet you can. Anybody else out there have a pet that they insist on getting you up at wee hours of the morning just because? Either to go out and go pee, or they want their food at like 6 a.m. Booger wakes me up at 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning. Like I told you, I'm her servant. She's like, I know you're sleeping, but it don't matter. Get up and feed me. And then as soon as I feed her and pet her, then she goes back to bed. But let's watch this clip. So here's Kitty laying down by the food bowl. Here's the first obvious hint. I want some food. Yep, let's tip the food bowl towards the owner so they can see it. Waiter. Waiter. And looking over the shoulder like, are you seeing this? Do you see what I'm doing? Great. She sees me. I'll take the fish of the day. I have your attention. More looking over the shoulder. You're not looking at me. Why aren't you looking at me? Okay, it's time to tip the bowl again. Service is slow today. Oh my God, this is such a cat thing. Keep playing with the bowl, making noise. That is hilarious. Cat life. Looks like someone isn't getting a tip. Oh, that's funny. I wish I could stay longer, but I got to get on with this react. But that is hilarious. Foop Olympic says Chantal says she's staying in Syria despite the airstrikes because she refuses to leave Salah. So this is from the live that I'm going to be reacting to. Let's watch the clip.
We're just going to see what happens right now. Hopefully the ceasefire holds. Like if, things get a lot worse, I'm sure there's a way I could definitely leave, but it's not going to be so easy for him, and I'm not going to leave him,
Reverse that, and you got more of the truth. You're worried about Salah in Syria, although he is Syrian. And you're saying it won't be so easy for him to leave. I don't think he wants to leave. I think he wants you to leave. Once he finds out what your paycheck on the 22nd looks like, he's probably going to want you to leave. He's going to be big mad. When he sees that paycheck the size of a baby carrot, he's going to say, hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more. But you're saying, oh, it's not easy for him. I have to stay for him. Foodie, you're the one that lives in Canada. It's not going to be easy for you. As a matter of fact, I don't think you can go home. Between the airspace being shut down, the borders being shut down, how in the world are you going to go home? You're trying to put up a front of I can go home whenever I want. Oh, really? Let's see you do it, because I don't think you can. It's too late.
Honestly, I know you guys are probably way more worried for me than I am for me.
There it is. You guys are way more worried for me than I am for myself. Hey, Beezers, did you hear that? So all of you are more worried for her than she is for herself. So I guess y'all can just quit that. Quit worrying for her. Listen and hear me. She's a 41-year-old woman. She decided to go to Syria. It was her choice. It's her life. She's doing what she wants to do with her life. And if she wants to make bad choices, one right after the other, what can anybody do? She wants all of you in the chat to worry for her and to keep watching her and sending her super chats. As a matter of fact, I think that she thought by going to Syria, because she's in a war-torn country, that would lead to her making so much money. She wanted to use the war and the conflict and the stress and the worry of all of you guys to her advantage. I really think so. Foodie's always looking for the next scummy, scammy angle to make money. But if she doesn't care about what's going on around her, then y'all shouldn't worry about her either, because she's not making a move to fix it. So why worry?
I feel like, I know most people won't understand that, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, well, okay, that's how you feel. Noted. D. Angry Scott says, Foodie, this needs to be a we told you so moment, because you literally told us all the negativity about traveling to Syria was all due to media bias and claimed it's no more dangerous than United States. Malarkey Meter says, yes, Canadian bacon. You said the travel advisory from Canada was only there as a precautionary measure. Then 3 minutes ago, you said you didn't know the situation. Pick a lane. Well, two things can be true at once. So it's true. She didn't know the situation. I think that she trusted Salah. And Salah, of course, lied to her and told her what she wanted to hear and needed to hear so we can get her over there and start milking her of money. He told her, oh, it's not that bad, babe. Just come on over. It'll be fine. And then the moment she gets there, things start popping off. Well, let's watch the clip.
I never said the travel advisory was incorrect. I never said that. Why does everything have to be an I told you so? This situation.
Oh, but, Foodie, you're not noticing the pattern. Allow me to help you see. The pattern is you're someone that you have always lived your life without discipline and structure and thinking about things thoroughly before you do them. You're not about that life of sitting down and saying to yourself, what is really good for me versus what is really bad? And if I make a bad choice, what is going to be the consequence or consequences of that bad choice? You just fly on the seat of your pants. You just impulsive. You go on your impulsive thoughts and your emotions and your cravings or whatever it is you want to call it. You don't think about what you do before you do it. You're like, I'm just going to do something and whatever happens after is what happens. You don't prepare for the consequences. So your life is as such that you're on the world stage. You put yourself on the world stage in front of people. You want to be in front of people. You want that in front of people attention. You want to be on stage, spotlight on you, shining down. That's where you want to be. Okay, so you're on stage. Spotlight is on you. Attention's right there. And so you're very concerned for the window dressing. The window dressing for you is very important. And you want the window dressing to always be positive in your favor. And even when there are people around you giving you good advice, if it comes from somebody you don't like, or if it's not something that you came up with first, you will disregard the good advice. You won't even think about it. If it's something that you didn't come up with first, you're like, I'm not going to do it. And you go out of your way to try to prove girl world wrong. So you'll go out of your way, you'll go around the block and down the corner to avoid, say, a dozen eggs being thrown on your face. And to avoid the 12 dozen eggs, you'll make another bad choice, which leads to what? A whole pallet full of eggs being thrown on your face. You make a bad situation worse. You humiliate yourself. You embarrass yourself. All because you lack the ability to say, I made a bad choice. I made a mistake. I was wrong. And I can admit that I was wrong. I didn't know what I was doing, or I wasn't in my right mind, or I was just driven by whatever. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes bad choices. And then we make the bad choice. We deal with it. We move on. But you just can't admit when you're wrong. And you end up doing more wrong. So because you lack that ability, it leads to the we told you so moments that you absolutely hate coming at you, but yet you invite it.
Situation is bigger and beyond any stupid internet drama.
Chantal, keep in mind that you put everything on YouTube. If you didn't put stuff on YouTube, if you didn't go to Siri and put that on YouTube and do your live streams and your vlogs talking about your situation, no one would have anything to say. No one. We wouldn't know anything, but you make sure we know everything.
But Yeah. You didn't tell me anything. When did I say that I didn't? The situation, I knew the situation in Syria, but these things also, like, this is a new development, right? So,
But we warned you it could get really nasty over there, and it did. It did. And Chantal, I know you watch the tarot readers. You watch me. You watch Neo Tarot. You watch Sunburst Tarot. You watch Peek Through the Blinds, Melissa Gold Tarot. You watch Four Wands Divination. I know you watch all of us. We do tarot readings on you. We were telling you for months to get away from that situation and go home. Did we not? We did. Even the reactors who don't like you, how many of us over the course of years have given you solid advice, even though we don't like you? How many of us have said, Chantal, you need to take care of yourself. Chantal, you need to go back to Canada and check yourself into a hospital. Chantal, you need therapy. Did you listen to anybody? No. Because even though you are a mukbanger and you can shove massive amounts of food into your mouth, the one thing you cannot swallow is your pride. It's just too big of a mouthful. It just gets stuck in your throat when you try to chew it up and swallow it. It doesn't go all the way down to your stomach where it belongs. Your pride is keeping you prisoner. You've wrapped yourself in pride. Your pride is your own personal tower that you've wrapped yourself in and try to put yourself above people when you're not above people. You're immortal just like the rest of us. Even though you look at everybody else as being peasants, we're not peasants. But your pride is keeping you prisoner. And that tower that your pride is built, it's full of misery. You could tear it down, but you don't want to because you always have to be right, even when you're dead wrong. All right, here's some info about the drama that was happening off in her chat. Fondue Spiteful Beach says Foodie Beauty Tracy versus Teardrop, battle of the butt simping, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So here's Teardrop and Tracy going at it. Like it was crazy. The mods are fighting. And what are they fighting over? Chantal's attention. They want to be the number one mod or they want the most attention. Tracy is one of those people that she's like, Chantal, read my messages. Chantal, read my messages. Like, calm down, Tracy. Hello, how old are you? You're not 5. But Tracy and Teardrop going at it because they get jealous if one or the other gets too much attention. So they fought, then they made up. D. Angry Scott says, yes, that's just what to do, cutie. Wait until war completely breaks out before trying to leave. So Pegatha was busy yesterday trying to give the recaps to everything. And thank you for that, Pegatha. Pegatha says, if things get worse, she says she's sure she can leave, but she for sure won't leave because her handsomest man can't. The next sentence she says, if full-on war breaks out, I'll find a way to leave. She hasn't told Shmi anything. Chantal, if full-on war breaks out, it's too late to leave. If a poop hits the fan situation happens, it's too late to prepare for it. The best way to prepare for something is way in advance. Or if you're like seeing trouble out of the corner of your eye, you act before it becomes right there in front of you. But you go ahead and wait till full-on war breaks out, and then you're going to FAFO. Fondue Spiteful Beach says, Foodie Beauty Cutie, quote, I'm not afraid of the bombings or unaliving. Also, cutie, scared to pull back around at Mickey D's window a second time or get out of the car in Kuwait and walk in. Stay with your husband, cutie. Since you stressed how much you hate it, you will always be cutie to us. Well, she wants to run around in Syria and get her fast food. Like, her stupid has no limit. That's all I'm going to say. Alex is shook, says commenter, quote, you could be buried alive by rubble at any time. Foodie, quote, thing is, giggle, you're not telling me anything new. So is she romanticizing that too? The idea of being buried in rubble, I'm sure it's not the party that she thinks it is. All right. What else we got here? Kristen says, "You're not some kind of Pied Piper. They're coming to see the circus sideshow that's living in their building." So this clip is also courtesy of Milky Chai. This is part of her live stream. Let's watch.
People are constantly coming to our door, ringing our doorbell. Kids in the building, oh my gosh, they're so fascinated by me. They just come, I'll be sitting on one of the couches and they'll ring the doorbell. They just want to come see me.
Yeah, they're probably fascinated by you because they don't understand. They really don't get it. They're like, why would this person from Canada, a place that's not a war-torn country, why would somebody from Canada willingly, knowingly, and eagerly fly over here and live over here when they don't have to? They're probably like looking at you like, why would you do this? Why are you still here? You see what's going on. Why aren't you leaving? Why aren't you trying to leave? Like, they're probably not figuring it out.
And Julia, and they just come and they just group around me and they're just trying to impress me with the little bit of English they know. So
maybe word has gotten around the neighborhood that you got a lot of money. You ever think about that, Foodie? You know, I'm not saying anything bad about the people in Syria, but considering the money that you're spending and what's going on over there, and the fact that there are food, money, water, electricity shortages, if you're over there spending money like it's going out of style, it's going to be noticed. Very, very noticed.
I'm always saying, you know, it's really cute.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they don't think you're really cute. All right, moving on. Like, there's more drama in her chat. Like, Nicole was also melting down. Kristen says, LMAO, one of Chantal's neighbors told her it was improper for her to call Salah babe in public. Did she actually do that? Did she do the baby voice and call him babe in public? How embarrassing. But I'm glad that one of the neighbors called her out for that and basically said to her, what are you doing? Why are you calling your husband babe? That is so improper. I'm glad they called her out. She probably felt embarrassed too. Okay, like this is from Kristen. So Foodie had this community post saying, hi guys, my health updates vlog was recorded a couple of days ago. I know there's some serious events unfolding in Syria right now within just mere kilometers from us. I will come live in a few hours to talk about our situation. We are staying in the home to keep safe for now. Chantal, even if you stayed at home, hidden, it's not exactly a safe place. But you go ahead and think that. You go ahead and think that. 1 minute. Okay, let's keep going. All right. All right, here's one of the clips that I want to show you guys, and it's pretty shocking. Enigma 2025 says no longer there. She's in immediate danger. So T says Foodie Beauty drove by this landmark in her recent vlog. Defiance is a heck of a rug. Hope the olive trees and the affordable KFG is worth it. So here's the vlog that Foodie did. Okay, we're going to go back to the beginning and we're going to cut off the sound because I don't need to hear her talk. She annoys me as it is. So All right, here's the vlog that she did driving around in Syria. Now, there's the this thing right here. This is the landmark for this building. And hurry up, Chantal, balance the camera. This big building right here. She filmed this just a few days ago. That building is no longer standing. It got bombed. It is now in ruins. It's gone. That's the ministry building. Okay, like this is some shocking footage, y'all. This is from a news channel over in Syria. Watch what happens. See, there goes the building. I hope and I pray that nobody was in it. Nobody got hurt. I seriously hope nobody got hurt because that's crazy. I mean, you would think that someone like Chantal would see something like that and immediately be like, Salah, get me out of here. That's this is really real. I want out and I want out right now. But she's still there. Wonder Mom says, so we had airstrikes on Damascus today, but Foodie Beauty will play it down if she talks about it at all, because she has to lie to us so she can stay in her safe little delusion that nothing will happen to her, that the choice she made to stalk her fake husband was good. You know, a lot of people ask the question, why does Foodie lie so much? Back in the day, I used to think she's lying to us because Foodie's a troll. She does a lot of things to troll us, or she'll do things on purpose that may seem like an accident, but they're not, because she wants the reactors to talk about her. But anymore, the way her life has become, I think that she lies more for her own benefit than for YouTube. I think she's made so many bad choices in her life, so many severely bad choices that have led her to the point where she's at right now, that to avoid reality, she has to make up a fantasy world that she can live in. And the fantasy world includes this thinking of every choice that she makes is good. She never makes a mistake. She's always got to portray the window dressing, that her life is better than all of us. She lives better than all of us. She doesn't want to simply admit that she's human and she makes mistakes. So with the window dressing, the appearance of things is very important to her because she's on the world stage. And she just can't say, I'm human and I messed up. So anymore, she's lying not so much for other people, it's for herself. Because if she stopped lying, period, if she stopped lying on YouTube and lying to herself, what would happen? Reality would just come crashing in, and she would have to see that she really messed up her life in so many ways, and it might cause perhaps an emotional or mental breakdown. If she let everything in about all the things she's done and how messed up her life is, I don't think she'd be able to handle it. That's just how I feel. Okay, unbelievably annoying cat voice gave this clip. Israel attacks Damascus and warns of painful blows. Yep, it's time to go. And here's more from T. Foodie Beauty drove by this landmark in a recent vlog. There's a bigger clip of it. That building is gone. I really hope nobody got hurt. I really, really hope nobody got hurt. Oof. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Perfectly Imperfect says, imagine being so terrified of your own loneliness that you'd rather run to the heart of a destabilized, war-torn country under siege than face yourself in the mirror. That's what Foodie Beauty did. She crossed continents for a man who won't even kiss her in public, wrapped in the word love, and now sits there live streaming while Damascus is bombed around her. She has no roots there, no ties, no reason to stay except the lies she sold herself and her audience. Meanwhile, she's burning through water, food, fuel, and power that should belong to people who have to be there. People for whom this place is not an escape from loneliness, but the only home they have. It's not just sad, it's infuriating. Because when you don't have to be there, but you stay anyway, you're not surviving. You're leeching off the survival of others, period. Well said, Perfectly Imperfect. Well said, ma'am. Thank you for saying that. Day to Day Ray says Foodie Beauty's beezers are wild. There are two of her comments from her community post. One is offering to help pay to her to get home, and the other one is saying how romantic she is for staying with Salah and not let the haters tear them apart. So Amberlyn Cooney says, I will literally help pay for your flight if you stay in Canada. Amberlyn, are you new? I think you're new. Obviously, you're not a beezer from the past. You've not been around that long. You've got to be new if you believe that even if you paid for a flight, even if Foodie agreed to your terms, that she would keep her promises. Foodie doesn't keep her promises. Do you understand? Is she would say to you, yes, please pay for a flight. I promise I won't leave Canada anymore. So she would take your money, get the plane ticket, go home to Canada, and the next thing you know, she's chasing after another man on another continent. And then she would just go to you and say, oh, I just changed my mind. Hee hee. You can't count on Foodie for anything. Do you understand? Number one rule, Foodie lies. That's why Girl World has that saying. Rule number one, Shantel lies. Rule number two, she tells on herself. Sandy Syria Beast Quesadilla says, imagine where we'd be if she had just purchased Reginald the Sax doll instead. Yeah, if only. We were denied great content, y'all. If only Foodie had followed through with getting Reginald. Foodie, you messed up. You made a bad choice. Now, if you had bought Reginald for $2,000, like you said you were going to, guaranteed you would have a man for life that wouldn't cost you any more money after you bought him, wouldn't give you any lip, would not give you a headache if you want to spend your own money. You messed up. You absolutely messed up. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Sax doll that she wanted to buy. And isn't it something that it looks a lot like Salah? Looks a lot like him. So instead of getting Reginald, which would have been the cheaper, better, permanent version, you chose to get the more expensive, unreliable, running to Red Rooms version with the baby carrot. Oh, you made a bad choice. Real bad. Lisa Manning says that new power grid is right around the corner, girl. And this from AI Overview saying the estimated cost to rebuild Syria ranges from 250 billion to 400 billion. This substantial figure reflects the extensive damage to infrastructure and the widespread poverty caused by years of conflict. Well, I think the bill just went way up because there's conflict in Syria right now. So there's more damage being done as we speak. So I don't think the infrastructure is going to be rebuilt anytime soon. All right. Fondue Spider Beach says, Foodie Beauty, you can live in your diabetic bubble of delusion, but the entire health update vlog was a huge TOS medical misinformation video advocating going off insulin and mental health pills without doctor oversight is dangerous and the video should be removed for misinformation. So here's a comment from one of her subbies. K2 says, fasting 8.8 is a green light. As your chart says, it is high. This does not make any sense, Chantal. Foodie says, because my sugars are normally double, so that's an improvement. Yeah, but it's not normal and it's not healthy. That's what makes it bad. 8.8 is still really, really high. And you know what, Foodie? Your blood sugar readings are telling on you. 8.8, what you eating, Foodie? We know you're snacking over there. I know how much you love your carbs. And carbs turn into sugar. You know that, right? So the sugary drinks, the sodas, the bread, pasta, rice, all turn into sugar. Fruits have sugar. Eating a lot of fruit Like you are craving the sugar, aren't you? The two things your body loves a lot right now are sugar and caffeine. Sugar and caffeine. That's what gets you off the couch. And sugar addiction and caffeine addiction is harsh, really harsh. But that's why your sugars might be high because you're still consuming sugar, carbs, sugar, carbs, sugar, carbs. Oh, look. Yog says orphan kitten and little bird become best friends. Aw. Oh, so sweet. Look at the little guy. Aw. Love the babies. I don't know what sparked this friendship, but Birdie's like, I love the cat. I love the kitty. That's baby bird looking for its mother. Aw. All right. So I'm sure you guys have already heard around the fence post that Dee Dee and Nader broke up. And here's this big long post from Dee Dee saying, yeah, like this is private. You know, here's what she wrote. I don't even know if I want to read all this. I'm not even sure if I believe it. I don't know what to make of this. Because she's saying that they broke up, but what she's not saying is he has moved out. He's moved out of my home. If it's your home, Dee Dee, shouldn't he be moving on and moving out on out? No word about that. No word at all about that. So you guys are just going to be roommates? Sure you are. He's an opportunist. So until he gets his own place and gets out, I don't believe you. I sure don't. All right, so that's it for the Twitter peeps. I know it took a while, but that's because I was going over all the stuff from yesterday when my microphone decided to bloop on me without letting me know. Now it's time for her live stream. And like I said, we will zip ahead if we need to, and we're probably going to need to because this vlog went on for almost 3 hours. 3 hours. Ugh. Why, Foodie? Do you not count on the fact that people got things to do? We got things to do. I like the shorter stuff. Quality versus quantity. A quality live stream that's shorter is worth 10 trash live streams that go on too long. I know you're looking at the Google AdSense and you're like, the longer my live is or the longer my video is, the more Google AdSense money I'm going to get. But at the same time, you're hurting yourself because if it's too boring, people stop watching you. But you go ahead. You might be driving more people to reaction channels like mine. So you do what you do, Shantel. But let's get started, y'all. And she's got the camera off, y'all, because she's like, it's hot. I have my abaya and my hijab and stuff off. So she's keeping the camera off. I bet you anything that she's got the camera off because she's high. The last few live streams and vlogs, her eyes, like the pupils are blasted. She looks terrible. What are you taking, Foodie? Is it Captagon? Is it something else? What have you been taking? Talk, Chantal. What are you doing? She's purposely waiting for more people to get into her chat room. I know what she's doing. Say something.
I already see things are going nuts. So I just want to say hello, everyone.
There's so many people in her chat that are like, you need to go home. Why don't you go home? I'm so worried for you. All of you are worried for her, but she's not worried enough for herself to get gone. So all of you are all worried for her. She's not doing a doggone thing. It's her life and it's her choice. And she has chosen to stay with Salah, even though it makes no sense to do so. So if she wants to be over there and be in the middle of all that stuff, That's what she wants to do.
Okay. So far, uh, I fell asleep for a few hours. Like before I went to bed, Israel had bombed.
Paggy says, we are all scared for you, haters and your fans. Look, in normal circumstances, I would be worried for her. But my sympathy bone when it comes to Chantal is non existent. I have a hard time with feeling sorry for someone that willingly, knowingly, and eagerly puts themselves in the middle of a bad, bad area. That when they have the chance to just stay in Canada and get themselves together, they're set up to get themselves together. Their family helps them out to get themselves together. Mom and stepdad co sign on a lease so she can get herself together. She up and leaves and goes to Syria, chasing a man that wants nothing to do with her, just wants her money. I can't feel sorry for her. I can't be worried for her. When it comes to Chantal, if you worry for her, your worry and your concern are being wasted. Like, I will worry and be concerned for someone that actually cares about themselves and they want to work on themselves and improve and take care of themselves. Like, it's not just me throwing emotion or feeling at somebody and it never comes back, which is exactly what happens with Foodie. If you're throwing worry and concern at her, it's going to go nowhere. Like, you're burning through all of your feelings and she doesn't give a crap.
I'm sure you saw in the news, Damascus, the security buildings. They bomb areas close to Dara.
You know what? Hold on a second. I need to look something up. I'll be right back. Okay, I apologize. I was just curious about something. If Foodie in Syria, she's been making more money since she's been in Syria because of everything going on over there and people being worried for her. So let's just get out of here for a second. I would like to show you guys the stats on Playboard because that's why I left for a second to go look that up. So here is Chantal's page on Playboard. Playboard is a site much like, doggone it, what's the name of it? But anyway, so here are what she's been making in super chats. Today's revenue, $0. Yesterday, $131. Last 7 days, 172. So for less than 300 bucks in super chat, Chantal, you're going to stay in Syria. When the stupid thing is, if you had stayed in Canada and just taken off the abaya, take off the hijab, because you really don't have the Muslim faith in your heart, just been true to yourself. Just sit down and just spill the doggone tea like you said you were going to. You would have been doing gangbusters by now. Just be yourself in Canada and you would have done very well. But for less than 300 bucks, you're going to stay in Syria and put yourself in danger. You're an idiot. Straight up, you're an idiot. But let's go back to Foodie and see what she has to say.
And I woke up and Salah, unable to sleep, of course, he heard.
And, I saw this comment somewhere, and I have to agree with this person. Foodie, since you decided to be there, since you've chosen to be there, since you're still choosing to be there, whatever's going on, stop complaining. You decided to take yourself over there and live in the way that you live. So stop complaining about the heat. Stop complaining about the food. Stop complaining about everything when you literally chose that life.
The bomb. There was a bomb pretty close to us. I forget the name of the area, he said, but anyway, there's a military.
So what happened, Foodie? What happened to, it's not that bad, guys. There are so many travel vloggers coming here. Everybody's coming here. What happened to that? You still standing by that? No comment? None? I didn't think so.
Military base there. Um, so thank you guys for your prayers. So whenever I came here, I guess I didn't understand the like I thought things were a bit more stable, but
Chantal, everybody warned you. Everyone warned you. You should have left. When your 15 days were up, you should have left. If you had left, you might be back in Canada right now safe. But you chose to stay. Everybody warned you. Everyone. But you, being the defiant person that you are, you didn't listen. Of course, you didn't listen. You never listen. When the advice is right there in your face, you don't listen. And why don't you listen? Because you don't like the people giving you advice. You don't have to like the person giving you advice to take the good advice and use it to your advantage. You don't have to be best friends with someone to take their advice. They don't have to be a family member. Just listen to what people tell you, but you never do.
I also knew at the same time like this is not
And by the way, ma'am, since you want to be an international traveler and vlogger, if you go to an area that is not your home, then as a traveler, it is your responsibility to get online and seek out information and knowledge about where you're going and what's going on there. It is no one else's responsibility to tell you what's going on. Although you do like to use Girl World as fact checkers, as people that inform you of things. You like to be all over Twitter and be all over YouTube and pick up information from live streams. You use Girl World to do the homework that you should be doing. But since you want to travel to different places, it's on you to thoroughly research where you're going before you go there.
surprising to me at all, which is why I might seem a bit calm because I don't I mean I knew there was still a lot of sectarian conflict, and that's what's happening right now. And it's not just
CM says, yes, you said Western media lies. Rainbow Road says the advisory to not travel to Syria is there for a reason. Correct.
that. It's I think there's more behind it. Um,
And I'm going to say something really rude, but it needs to be said because it's true. Chantal, you are in a war zone. And I pray for your sake and also for the sake of the people that live in Syria because they are affected too. I'm sure the war, the conflict, the bombings have seriously affected them and harmed them and even unalived lots of people. In a situation like this, where there is war, literal war going on, and who knows what's going to happen next? Who knows what's going to happen and when it's going to happen and what buildings are going to be bombed or what bombs are going to be dropped? If you're in a situation where buildings get demolished by bombs or anything else, you are in such bad health that if there's a threat of something like that going to happen, you don't even have the physical ability to run away, to escape, to go to a safer place. You have trouble walking and you certainly can't run. And if there are people fleeing an area, they're not going to stop and carry you to the next location. It's just not going to happen. You might get left behind. And if you're over in Syria and you eat enough food where you become bedbound and then something pops off, you might be doomed. See, you're not thinking about things like this, but you should be.
So, yeah, I feel like I don't really want to give a political opinion or anything like that.
And you shouldn't. Honestly, you shouldn't. If you were smart, anything political, you'll keep your mouth shut. You will keep your mouth shut. You've already said too much that can get you in trouble. You're not in a place where you can talk about certain things and you're safe in Canada. No, ma'am. You shouldn't do that.
I don't think it's safe.
Nope,
Hey
it isn't.
Tracy. Hey, by the way, everyone, my mods, Breezeth, saying cheese, everybody. Um, thank you, thank you.
You know, Chantal, I really hope that you're not in the headspace. You're not in the sick, twisted headspace where you think, I'm in the middle of a war zone. This is a good thing. People are going to be so worried for me and feeling so sympathetic to me. They'll just send me more money. I really hope you're not thinking that way. That in your mind, you twisted it into this is a good thing. My content is unique. I'm in a war zone. That makes me special. It's not special. You shouldn't be there. You should not have gone there, but you did go there. So do not romanticize what's going on. There's nothing romantic about it. It's tragic because what's going on over there, it's affecting people. It's hurting people. Don't look at this as a money making opportunity. Okay? Just don't.
Like I knew. I'm really tired, guys. I woke up in the middle of the night. It's like 4. I wanted to go live, and because uh, my data plan is weird.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your data plan. Nobody cares about the fact that you've got a fridge you can only run for like an hour. These are all small details at this point that don't matter. Stop complaining about this, that, and the other thing, Chantal. You chose this life. Since you chose it, you got to be happy with it. Stop bitching.
And I have the most data from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then during the day after that, I only have 20 gigabytes of data. So if I want to upload anything, if I want to go live, I need to do it. Hey, Zach, is it like too windy? I'm just really hot. Um, so before I came here, Salah tried to warn me.
Yeah, he did. Salah did try to warn you. He said, don't come over here. Did he not? He said, don't come here. Wait 30 days. You didn't want to wait 30 days. You want to rush on over there because you were in Canada and you were bored. You didn't have a man to distract you or amuse you or to leech off of or to make into like a errand running person. You were spinning in your head about what's he doing? Who's he talking to? Is he going to replace me with another sugar mama and I'll lose him entirely? Your insecure little brain just couldn't let it go. So you ran over there and look where you are now, stupid.
And obviously, because my husband is from Syria, I was, always aware, mostly through him, of situations in Syria. And, you know, he has a lot of loved ones here, he has a lot of friends here. And
Yeah, that's right. He's got friends and family there. You don't. That's the difference. He's got family there. You do not. You just know him. And if he wants to screw you over, which still might happen, he could. It would be so easy for him to screw you over, Foodie. You don't know the language. You can't speak the language. You don't know anybody there. There's no friendly faces for you over there. Not even him. He's not a friendly face. He just have to take whatever money you got. And once you run out, he's going to be gone.
so we would worry a lot about them as well. And just, I knew that things were unstable. The government infrastructure is very fragmented, very unstable. And now I'm sure that it's just complete chaos. They bombed, I think, very near the presidential palace, the government buildings, and um, now one thing is Israel seems to be targeting the government bases, um, not civilian homes, but the surrounding areas. I think they've said that there's at least 400 people that have died so far. I'm not
Wow. 400 people. That is so sad. So sad.
sure if that's accurate. That's what I heard. Um, I don't know if I'm able to leave. I don't. Uh, yeah, yeah. They're just bombing everybody at this point. I mean, Syria is pretty much defenseless. We don't. I mean, they don't have missiles and sophisticated military equipment. So
Okay, Ministry of Truth is mentioning something that I saw on Twitter. I saw a clip on Twitter. It was really, really graphic, and I'm choosing not to show it in my Twitter peeps because I think it would just be too much. But Ministry of Truth, KMK, is mentioning the clip that I saw on Twitter. Ministry of Truth says a whole hospital was massacred in South Syria. Yeah, I saw the clip. It was really graphic and really sad that a whole hospital full of people, doctors, nurses, women, men, even children, massacred. Absolutely massacred. It was so incredibly sad.
so, um, you know, no, we can't go live in Canada right now because
You could. You might still be able to get home to Canada if you could get home. I'm confused. Somebody help me. She's a narcissist, right? She's got narcissistic traits. Don't narcissists always look out for themselves first because they have no empathy for others? Why isn't she taking care of herself? Where's her survival instinct? In a situation like this, she should be looking at Salah and saying, "Sorry, bro, I gotta go." Like this is literal war. We're done. I'm saving myself here. Bye. But she's not. She's so not.
immigrating to Canada is a huge process, and it could take a year, you know, and
Okay, so it would take a year. Let's just say you and Salah are really married, although I don't believe it. But just for argument's sake, let's just say you are. And it takes a year. You could go back home, get yourself together, maybe, deal with the tax man, maybe set up a payment plan at the same time, set up a home base. Just start taking care of yourself. A year is going to fly by. Maybe in a year's time, if he cares about you, you could bring him on over. But if you want to bring him on over to Canada, don't you need a home base to get the approval from the board? I think so. But what chance are you going to have of bringing him over to Canada if you don't even have a home base yourself? So you could go home to Canada and deal with some things and get yourself together. But you're such a stage 10 clinger, you won't let go.
there's just no way. What's best for Julia? She'll be all right. He didn't take my passport. I showed it many times on camera. Let's check and see if I can fly out ASAP. But I don't know about that. Like Salah doesn't seem to. He thinks that it's gonna stop. Like there's apparently
Chantal, he's telling you what you want to hear. You, I'm sorry to say it, it's not nice. You are his pay pig. Do you understand that? You are his pay pig. You are his piggy bank. You are his walking ATM with feet. You're the source of money. That's why he lets you come over there. That's why you're still there. You are his source of money because he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have any financial opportunities. If there was something better than you that he could latch onto, he'd leave you in a heartbeat. But for right now, you're convenient. You're a convenient source of money, and he needs the money. And I bet you anything, he's bleeding you dry. He's telling you, oh, the price of something is this when it's actually that. He's probably like double charging you for something and then pocketing some of that money. He's a sugar baby. He sees the writing on the wall. He knows health wise, you don't have long. And I know that's rude to say, but let's just put everything on the table. Your health is really bad and you don't give a crap. And you're not going to the hospital to see how things are or to fix anything. I don't know how long you have left. You don't even know how long you have left, but you're not willing to find out so you can extend your life out another 5 or 10 years or so. But if he's a sugar baby, which he is, and he's seeing you in bad health, and he's seeing that you're progressively getting worse, he might be upping the ante and trying to get as much money as he can out of you before you get into a coffin. Having you invest your money in all kinds of things, taking as much as he can before your heart stops beating. But there might be a sense of urgency with him of, I got to get all I can before something happens because something can happen at any minute. Just give that a thought.
a ceasefire now in place recently. So hopefully that holds. There's been ceasefires before and they were broken as fast as they were made.
Right?
But the government here does not have the, I mean, I don't see them retaliating and like hopefully the ceasefire holds. That's basically what I can say.
So, question, let's just say there is a ceasefire and the borders get opened back up and the airspace is not closed. Are you prepared to leave at a moment's notice? I don't think you are. I don't think you have that kind of money.
Um, so yeah. For now, I'm staying put. Um,
By the way, Chantal, since there is the war situation going on, do you have a bag packed and ready to go? Do you have a GTFO bag packed? Like a bug out bag? I don't think you have one with clothes and supplies for yourself and your cat. I don't think you got one of those. And if something pops off, you won't have time to pack anything up.
we are, knock on wood, in an area where there doesn't seem to be any military. It's a very insignificant. We're not in, right smack in Damascus, although uh, it was a bit jarring to see the exact location.
Chantal, you are trying to say we are not in the danger zone because we're not in the city. We are not near any government buildings. We are insignificant. We don't matter. Therefore, we're safe. You're not safe. You are not safe. Bombs can be dropped anywhere. You understand? Bombs can be dropped any place. Thinking that, oh, we're insignificant. We don't matter. They're not going to pay attention to us. Are you sure about that? Don't be so sure.
That we were just in our vlog, like the Damascus sword, in that square, um, with the roundabout. We were there,
And Chantal, this person, Chrissy S, is bringing up something saying, Foodie Beauty, the martyr. Chantal, I don't know if you're trying to be a martyr. I don't know if you're trying to implore some kind of being a hero to Salah and his family, but you're not a hero, nor are you a martyr. Do you understand? You're not a hero, and you're not a martyr, and you're not brave. I don't know if you're trying to create some sort of trauma bond or something with Salah in an effort to bond him tightly to you. I don't know if the plan is you're going to say to him, look at all that we've been through together. We actually went through a war together, and I love you, and you should be with me, because it's not going to work. He doesn't love you. Time to leave.
Deftones Andy, trust the law, but to be honest, Israel is unhinged. Yeah. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for the super chat. Um, PSA. No, Canada would not. I cannot bring him to Canada right now.
Too bad. Leave him there. You weren't going to bring him to Canada regardless. When you were in Kuwait for 3 years, 3 years, you had absolutely no inclination to bring him to Canada, because you knew that if you did, although you knew in the beginning that you couldn't because of your tax situation, you knew there was no way, and you were counting on the fact that he wouldn't figure it out for a while, and that would buy you time over in Kuwait to do what you do. But even in 3 years, you did not want to bring him over to Canada. You did not want to bring him over to the land of milk and honey and all the beauty and the majesty that is Canada, because you knew as soon as he got over there, he'd be gone. He'd be enjoying Canada in a way that you never did. Enjoying the freedoms, enjoying the people, enjoying the culture, enjoying everything. You would never hear from him again. And you didn't like that. You didn't like the idea of your boy toy running around Canada, having a good time, finding red rooms, finding beautiful women to hang out with, and leaving you alone. And then once again, you would be the big fool. And you didn't want to hear from Girl World. We told you so. So to keep from hearing, I told you so, you stayed in Kuwait. You kept him bound to you over there with empty promises that you never fulfilled, and made sure that he didn't get enough money where he can go over himself. And I'm not sticking up for Salah. He's a scumbag. He is a romance scammer. Believe it. And he was the one that chose to throw his lot in with Shantel and keep it going for 3 years. So he's as much at fault for this as she is. But you're very manipulative, Chantal. Very evil, wicked, sleazy, manipulative. And you like to bind men to you. You like to create a situation of no escape. You want them to be codependent on you. You don't want them to be independent of you, because if they're independent of you, you are not their choice. If they have a choice to make, it'll never be you. It never has been. It never will be.
Like I said, it's a long process. I don't think it's at a point yet where they would recognize any refugee status right now. Um, so, you know, Wanda, they said there was going to be a ceasefire. Thank you, Wanda.
Yeah, people are asking the question, why can't you go to Thailand? Green Grape says, just go to Thailand. I don't know if Salah could go to Thailand. I would think it would have been smarter for him to go to Thailand and to just meet Foodie over there. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's not easy, and this is just general search. If you search the amount of places somebody with a Syrian passport can travel to, it's very limited. Um, yeah, I know.
Nikki Fitness says, could y'all go back to Kuwait? Nope. They sure can't. Are you kidding me? All the trouble that she caused him and caused herself, she would not be able to hide in the shadows anymore. Nope. 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 She's on the radar now. And he is too. And they don't want to be there for that reason.
Uh, we're just gonna see what happens right now. Hopefully the ceasefire holds.
And I know this may sound silly. It may be silly for some people. It's not silly to me. Chantal claims to be a loving pet owner, does she not? She does. So she's over in Syria and she's miserable. And poor Julia is absolutely, positively miserable. How can you be a pet owner and look at your pet and see they're living in misery? They're very unhappy, and not think to yourself, I owe it not only to myself, but this pet that I'm in charge of, that I love, to give us both a better life. And this is not the good life. I need to make changes. I got to go somewhere else with my pet so we can both be comfortable. Why isn't she having that feeling and that thought?
like if things get a lot worse, I'm sure there's a way I could definitely leave, but it's not going to be so easy for him, and I'm not going to leave him.
It's not going to be easy for you either. It's really going to be difficult.
You know, honestly, I know you guys are probably way more worried for me than I am for me.
Yeah, so don't worry about her. Until she starts worrying about herself and getting up and doing something, don't worry for her. Don't. It's emotion and feeling wasted. Don't worry for her. She's got to start worrying for herself and doing the right thing for herself. She loves the attention. She loves negative attention. This is negative attention. Having her beezers stress the F out over her situation. She loves it. She loves being in the middle of a hurricane. She likes the attention she's getting and people feeling sorry for her. I'm so worried for you, Foodie. She loves it. All eyes on her. You know what? Everybody should just stop. Stop worrying for her. Stop giving her the attention like that. Maybe then, if she was alone in her worry, she might be worried for herself. She might get her butt up and get out of Syria and go home like she should. Stop giving her the attention that she wants.
I feel like, you know, I know most people won't understand that, but that's how I feel. Hey Nina, hey everybody, by the way.
Plain Cheeseburger says you need to do what is best for you. Here's the thing, Plain Cheeseburger. She doesn't know what's best for her, or she does know and she doesn't want to do it. Because the best for her would mean working on her life, making good choices, having boundaries, living her life with a little bit of discipline and respect and honor and honesty and self truth and conviction and self reflection, responsibility, accountability. She's living her life without these things. Hence the reason why everything is the way it is. Foodie does not know what's best for her. She doesn't want to live her life like that. She prides herself on being a rebel. Oh, I'm being so rebellious. I'm a bad girl. Well, go ahead and be a bad girl. Have a bad life. Do what you want to do.
My mom, I don't tell her these things, but I'm sure haters will. Unfortunately.
I want to have a word with you about that, Foodie. I would like to have a word with you about what you consider to be haters. Can we talk? You can't talk to me, but I can talk to you through my react. Let's get something straight. The people that you call haters are simply people that react to you or watch you either on your channel or off your channel on a reaction channel that simply have an opposing opinion or feeling to your feelings and opinions, but it doesn't mean that they're haters. It just means they have a difference of opinion to what you do and what you say. And you can have a difference of opinion of something or someone without actually hating them. Understand that. Put that in your big old head. Another thing, you call us haters, but what have we said to you? What have we said repeatedly? What have we said, Foodie? Every single reaction channel at one time or another has said to you, go home, go get some therapy, go to a doctor, go to a hospital. Have we not all said that? So we're supposed to be haters, and yet we're saying things to you that you should be listening to and you should be doing that would benefit your health, that would benefit your body. But because we're saying it, you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to the reactors. You want to listen to the tarot card readers who are giving you all kinds of information and you don't want to hear it just because it's coming from us. You call us haters. But strangely enough, there are people in your own chat. I've seen them. I pointed them out. People that know you're a food addict, that you're over 500 pounds. They've heard about your diabetes and your high blood sugar and your enlarged heart and your heart murmur and your non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, your extreme fatty liver, your kidneys being in trouble. They know about all these things, and yet some of them encourage you to hurt yourself. And I'm not putting the blame on them. No. They are encouragers. They are enablers, some of them. But the responsibility relies with you. If you have addictions or you have health problems, the responsibility lies first with you to get help. And if you choose not to, that is your choice. But there are a lot of encouragers to bad behavior in your chat. People that come into your chat and say, when is the next mukbang? I want to see you eat some more. Can we do a dessert mukbang? They're encouraging the self-harm content. Some of them even pay for it. Do you notice the reaction channels are encouraging you to eat? We don't. We don't encourage your addictions. And we never will. I won't. I know several more that won't. We're not encouraging your bad health. If anything, we tell you to take care of your health and go home and be safe. But we're called the haters, right? We're the haters, but yet we're not your frenemies in chat encouraging the freaking bad behavior and encouraging the addiction to get even worse. We're not doing that. So maybe you got it backwards. Maybe the people that you call haters really aren't haters. They just have an opposing opinion to what you're saying, and they're not co-signing on your BS and making it worse. And maybe some of the people that are in your chat that are coming at you with friendly words, maybe they're not so friendly. Maybe they are buddy trolling you. Maybe their entertainment is your decline. Just something to think about. Really think about that.
Fortunately. I don't blame you. I wouldn't leave my husband or pets either. Yeah. And Julia will be all right. I will guard her with my life, do what I can. But we'll see. Like, if it gets.
And can I say something else about that and close out this rant on Shantel? I don't like Shantel. She's a wicked, evil woman. But as much as I don't like this woman, as someone that I've gone through addiction with food, I've been through addiction, I've seen both sides of that coin. I've gone through it myself, and I've actually lost my little sister to addiction. I know what addiction can do. Even as much as I don't like Shantel, I'm not going to sit here and encourage her in her addiction. I'm not going to say, go ahead and eat some more, Shantel. Eat up. Go for it. Why? Because I think that's messed up. I think it's messed up to encourage an addict to go further in their addiction, to encouraging them in their demise. And yet, a lot of abusers do that. These people that swear that they care about her, encouraging an addict in their addiction is not care. It's not love. It's not friendship. It's diabolical. It is. Okay, I'm done now.
Much worse, or there's going to be a full out war, I'll find a way to get out of here. Don't worry about it. I think. I mean, I don't. Definitely Julia. Yeah, we'll protect Julia above all for sure. Cindy Ann, love and prayers for safety for you, Solange. Thank you, Cindy Ann. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Brooke, we don't need reaction channels to list countries that you can go to. I'm sure he's aware of that. No offense, but if you're using that as your news source, I mean, are you hiding in an outhouse?
And another thing that I'd like to ask about Foodie. So you're in Syria with Salah. He's not in Kuwait. Why isn't he coming on camera with you? Why is he still hiding his face? Like, what is he afraid of? Because he's not coming on camera like he used to. So, why aren't you questioning why he won't come on camera with you? The feeling is he doesn't want to be associated with you. And if something pops off and it involves you, he doesn't want to be involved.
Uh, Hold on, guys. East, it's you know, it's iffy. So I just, yeah. So when I came here, it's not like I was completely, I see a lot of people saying you're delusional, you think
You are.
that it's just a picnic there. And I never ever thought that. I knew what I was coming into. Um, I knew how unstable the government, how unstable it was here. There's still a lot of internal conflict, which I honestly think that Israel should have let Syria deal.
Can I go on record as saying that Foodie was so frantic, she was so manic to get over to Salah that even when he told her, please wait 30 days, she didn't listen, which leads me to believe her being frantic and panicky over him being alone there without her. Of course, she's not going to take the time to do her homework about Syria before she left.
With. Like, I don't think that they should just be bombing everybody. And I think it's just they're taking advantage of the situation here.
Chantal, you really should not be giving your opinions about what's going on in a live stream. That could be potentially dangerous.
The instability. I don't know. Netanyahu is a homicidal maniac, and I'm sick over USA support. I pray we step in over Syria. Thank you, Deftones, Andy. I agree with you, honestly, and I think the Druze situation is just an excuse, Um, and apparently, the U.S. and Qatar, I heard and Turkey, from what I heard, are supposed to like. I know the USA is like condemning what happened, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
She is talking way too much about what's going on there, and she really shouldn't do that.
I did slow it, Tracy. Just let people talk shit. Why not just let people talk? I'm too lazy to slow it more. I'm so tired right now. Members only.
So people in the chat are saying, look, you want to talk like this? Go to members only. Of course, she's not going to. She needs that Google AdSense money. She wants as much money as possible. If she goes members only, it's going to cut down her Google AdSense immediately. So she's not going to go to members only for something like this.
Um, I don't think I'll be on very long, but can't even read the comments. Hey, pumpkin pie. I haven't been reading the comments much, like because I'm just trying to get out what I want to say.
It took you almost 3 hours to get out what you want to say. Spoiler, she doesn't say anything really important.
Hey, ABCD. So I don't mean like to save me, Larry. I meant just in general, like I don't know. All right, so for now, I'm staying put here.
And look at this. Secret Sugar Mama says, can you and Julia at least go to your mom's? I'll buy tickets if you'll go right away. And this is why Shantel loves her beezers so much. Because she puts herself in bad situations willingly. And then she looks at her beezers to financially bail her out if things get ugly. Like she counts on them and their money and stupidity. It was her stupidity that led her to be where she is in the first place. So, beezers, if you want her to be smarter, if you want her to make better decisions, be more responsible, stand on her own, you know what you do? Little tough love. Let her fall. Let her figure it out. Put off the feeling of whatever decision you make, you're going to have to live with. If you fall, you fall. We're not going to rescue you. We're not going to be your safety net. Don't count on us to bail you out of every stupid thing you get yourself into. Figure it out. If you let her figure it out, it might make her a better person.
Thank you, Witchy. Yeah, I know, Nicole. Yeah. Thanks. Essay, times like this, it's important for you to know your neighbors. Find a woman's prayer group or try to socialize. Your normal isolation mentality will hurt you in times like this when community matters. Thanks, Essay. No, we do a lot. We're hardly ever alone, actually. And I kind of had a mental moment because of that. Like, we're just never alone, ever.
She just told on herself. We are never alone. Now, why aren't you ever alone? Could it be because you and Salah don't live alone in that house? Could it be because there are other family members that live there? Maybe it's a family home and family is around, hence the reason why you're never alone. Again, Foodie, you put yourself in that situation. You insisted on flying over there as quickly as possible. Salah said, give me 30 days. You didn't want to do that. So he secured a place for you to stay, I guess, with family. And if you don't like people being around, you should have waited.
I just don't ever film people we're with, like ever, ever, ever. So, but we are always with people, you know. Today we didn't really because we did go out today, and then whenever we came home, that's when all hell broke loose. I did some shopping, so I have like just a bit of grocery shopping, and I cooked here, so I have a video of that coming out. And then after that happened, after I filmed our dinner and everything, that's when all the bombings happened. All hell broke loose, and Salah, I'm kind of just going with his, you know, I think he's been watching the news very closely, talking to people, and uh, he's he just thinks that it's just to give it a few days or whatever, see how it goes. He thinks it's gonna.
You know, the smartest thing that she could do when she gets her YouTube paycheck on the 22nd, whatever the amount is, get a plane ticket and go home. Just go. That is the smartest decision she could ever make. Just take whatever it is she gets off of YouTube, get a plane ticket. If the airports are open, if the airspace is not shut down, go home.
Just stop. So yeah, thank you, gentle soul. I don't think a lot of you would leave your family, your.
And I'm gonna give this to you, Chantal. I'll do you a solid, even though you don't deserve it. Do you know why it's valuable to have friends and family around you? It's about perspective. Your perspective is you are someone with your nose touching a wall. Imagine standing in front of a wall with your nose touching it and opening your eyes. What are you going to see? You're not going to see very much. You're going to see maybe some paint on the wall, and then you take a couple of steps away from the wall, and then you see even more. You see more of the wall. You might see a little bit of a painting or a window or something, and then you take a few steps back and you see more of what's in front of you. You are someone on the inside looking out, and you have that nose touching the wall perspective. Friends and family are valuable because they are the ones seeing things from different angles, and they can alert you to different things. They can give their perspective. They can see things you can't. They can point out things that you don't notice, that you can't see. Friends, family, connections, that's why they're valuable, because they give you that overall view. Sometimes you're too close to something and you can't see the entire picture, but other people can help you see. Right now, your nose is touching the wall. Okay? You're in the fire, you're burning. You don't know you're burning, but there are people all around the fire saying, "You're burning, get out of there." But you're not going to listen because, according to you, you're not burning.
Husband, your family, would you? I mean, thanks, Deftones, Andy.
Hexy says, "What if it doesn't stop? What's his backup plan?" Yeah, does he have a backup plan? That if things get ugly, he can get the two of you out of there? Does he have one? I'd be asking about that. What is plan B, C, D, and E?
Thanks, Witchy. I don't know if it will stop. As in, I really think like maybe the immediate bombings, but I think that there's still a very long road ahead for Syria, and I knew that coming here. So I'm not gonna sit here and act all like, you know.
You know, I'm really wondering if, again, in her sick, twisted, obsessive, clingy mind, she might be looking at this situation with the war going on as a good thing, because she might be thinking, there's war going on, that means he can't get rid of me. I really wonder if she's thinking that way.
Oh my gosh, because I'm remaining calm and just.
I mean, Chantal is the kind of person, her mind is so twisted up, her wires are so badly crossed, that she would look at war as a good thing for different reasons when it's not.
Trying to keep a clear head and trusting my husband as well.
Ma'am, how are you keeping a clear head if you're always high? The last few live streams you have been high. I don't know on what. It could be Captagon, it could be something else. Your pupils are out to here. So how are you keeping a clear head? How can you have a clear head when you're comfortably numb or hyped up on something. And I believe this a lot, may be giving you something to keep you calm or passive to where you don't complain or you don't ask for so much food.
Yeah, Nina. My husband is Afghan and I wouldn't leave him if this were my situation. Exactly.
You know, Chantal, you keep talking about, I would never leave him. But here's a question you're not asking even of yourself. Here's the question: would he ever leave you? I believe he would. I believe he might have the power to go somewhere else. You might get to a point with you where you become so much of a problem, a hassle, a liability, and the juice not being worth the squeeze. He may just up and take off. And then if he takes off and you're still in Syria, then what? You're not thinking about that. You honestly think that he's going to stick with you when he can up and run if he wants to. He might be stacking the money away, your money, that if he wants to get gone, he can. He might have that in his plan of leaving Syria after a while and leaving you high and dry. Your only contact is Salah. Without him, you're all alone. And you're going to be all alone in a place where you don't know the language, you don't know anyone else. And if you get stuck, you get stuck because there's no Canadian consulate to go to if you get stuck.
I'm not just gonna tuck tail and run. There's no way. There's no way. Hey Vanessa. My husband would never put me in a situation. Well, Katie Kate, can you explain how my husband put me in a situation when he told me not to come here?
He told you where he was at and he came and he picked you up. He didn't get on the phone and say, you are absolutely not coming here. I'm not telling you where I am. I don't care how much you scream or beg or cry. It ain't going to happen. I don't want you to be in danger, Chantal, because I care about you, Chantal. So you're not getting any details. You can cry all you want. You can give me the baby voice all you want. You're not coming here. He didn't do that. He came and he picked you up, knowing full well what was going on over there.
Because he was worried about me? Like,
Not too worried. He let you come to Syria.
so to put this on Salah is just stupid.
I put this on both of you. I put this on his greed and your desperation. He was greedy for your money, and you were desperate to have him in your life again for reasons unknown to me.
Absolutely ignorant. This is not his fault.
No, you're both complicit in this. You're both idiots.
You know, and for people who wouldn't come here, you're not me. You're not married to somebody in the worst situation in the world. One of them. You don't have love for him like I have, so you'll never understand.
You don't have love for Salah, you have obsession. There's a difference, Chantal. You don't love him, and he doesn't love you. You are obsessed with him. You're obsessed with the idea of owning him. You look at him as property. You feel that you paid for him and he belongs to you when he doesn't belong to you. I would have thought that 3 years in Kuwait would have shown you that. Despite all the money you spent on Salah, he was over there red rooming with everybody but you. He wasn't touching you. He didn't want to touch you. He doesn't want to be intimate with you. When you go out in public, he's embarrassed to be seen with you. He's not that into you, girl. He's not into you at all. But you didn't care. You said long ago about somebody else, all he has to do is fake love me and I'll give him anything he wants. And I guess that applies to all of the men in your life. Well, guess what? Fake love is not real love. It's not the real thing. You don't pay for the real thing. The real thing is a gift from the heart and the soul. And real love comes from connection. Two people who are connected. And do you want to know, Chantal, how you know if you're connected to somebody? The connection becomes apparent in so many ways. You know you're connected to somebody when, if you want to be in a relationship with someone, that person, before they're your boyfriend, before they are your husband, they are your best friend. Your partner has to be your best friend before they are anything. If you're really strongly connected, without a word, you know what each other is feeling and thinking. You can pick up on their energy. You can have entire conversations without saying a word. You can sit in silence and your souls just be kind of talking to each other or just be enjoying each other's energy. You can tell each other anything and everything without judgment. If you got the kind of relationships where you get on the phone at 6 o'clock in the evening and the conversation is so easy and so natural that you talk for hours and hours. The next thing you know, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, but you're enjoying the conversation so much that even if you got a cell phone and your phone's ready to die, you put the phone on the charger just to keep talking because time is just flying by. You've never had that kind of relationship, have you? You don't know anybody like that you can talk to like that. That's connection. Without connection, love cannot last. Love is just an infatuation of energy, aesthetic, something, but it doesn't last. To make it last, you have to be connected to that person, and they have to be connected to you. And sometimes things like that take a while to flourish, to nourish, to take root, to bloom. You don't know about any of that because you're so impatient that you want to find somebody and be with somebody and you don't care who it is or what's going on. You just latch on to somebody like a tick. Well, you get what you get. So you don't love Salah. You're obsessed with the idea of owning him, and that's entirely different.
Understand that. I understand and respect your decision to stay with Salah and Julia. I do the same. Much love and prayers to you, girl. Thank you, Pumpy. I appreciate you. Yeah, thanks, Nicole. It's not about trusting his judgment when he told me not to come. It's that I didn't care.
He needs to pick a lane. One minute he's telling her don't come, and then he's giving her the information of where he is. And I bet it's because what he wanted her to do was to keep sending him money for a while. And I don't know if he had any plans of cutting her off once he got a certain amount or what his deal was, but he wanted her to keep sending money without being there. And Chantal, I bet you, said to him, I'm not giving you any more money unless I'm physically there. Like she probably threw that condition on the table and he said, all right, come here if you want to. And that's why she's there.
I don't care about the danger, like
You should, idiot.
in a way that you guys think I should. You know what I mean?
Right, thank you. Maybe it's Cluster B says, then stop complaining. Thank you for saying that. Stop complaining.
Because I knew about it coming here, you know? Thanks, Snitch. I broke up with a woman because she wanted to move to Saskatchewan. Well, you don't want to be bored to death. uh,
Ooh, just lurking says Salah was right. You don't think about the burden you put on him. Nope, she sure doesn't. She just feels entitled to be everybody's burden, everybody's problem, everybody's responsibility.
do you all know Salah's situation? Why is he there? Do not judge lest he be judged. To marry someone is to accept them. She accepts him and he accepts her. Exactly. you know? So, um, yeah, so I'm here for now anyway. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, this comment, I don't like this person. Ask Cass said, Ask Cass is actually anime sucks. I want to address your comment, anime sucks. You say, well, you say that because he's your favorite person right now and you feel like you can't live without him. But this is a black and white danger situation. My reply to that, he is not her favorite person. More the truth is, he is her only person. Chantal picks one guy and she fixates on that one guy too much. She gets obsessed with them. She gets clingy. She gets jealous. She gets insecure. She's in your face. She won't leave you alone. You don't have any free time. You don't have any freedom. She wants to imprison you, if you're a man, with her. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. You can't talk to anybody. She's on your phone. She's checking your phone. She's checking your messages. She is suffocating. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. That is the behavior of an abusive person, of an abusive partner. Because one of the things that abusive people do is isolate their target. They isolate you away from family and friends. They want you just with them, under their control. They put you down. They make you feel like you're worthless. They make you financially dependent on them or financially control you. And again, I am not taking up for Salah, but let's call her for what she is. She's an abusive person, always has been, and probably always will be. She suffocates people, and then she wonders why they run away. It's because if they want to breathe, they have to run out of the room that she's in, because once she walks in there, she'll take all the oxygen out for herself. She wonders why a man won't stick around. And it's because she literally sucks the life out of him.
Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, I don't care if it's a dangerous situation. I'm not leaving him. I'm not. So I leave him, and then what? I'm safe and he's not. And,
You know what? He's a grown man. He's what, in his 30s? Just like you, Chantal, he's a grown adult person. He's got to learn to take care of himself. He can't possibly expect that he's going to do the romance scamming forever. I mean, he's in his 30s. How much longer can he play that game? How many people are going to accept his game and take him on? For real. I guess, isn't he a little old to be a romance scammer? He's not exactly suave and debonair with lots of money, and he's slick and flying around the world and sipping champagne with the world's elite. Isn't he a little old and stupid to be playing that game? I think so. I think he needs to stop playing that game and go be a responsible man. You're both adults. You need to learn to take care of yourself. He needs to take care of himself and stop looking around for women to take care of him. It's time for both of you idiots to grow up.
no. Sorry, but we're just going to stay put for now and see what happens. We might, I don't know what we'll do. There's like a few countries he could go to, and then after that visa is over, what? He has to come back here or travel to another. It's just, we have Julia. It's just like,
You don't care about Julia. You never cared about Julia, and that's a shame. If I feel sorry for anything in this situation, y'all, I don't feel sorry for Chantal. I don't feel sorry for Salah. They're both grown adult people. I feel sorry for that poor cat because she's been dragged through hell. and she's still going through it because of those two morons. I feel bad for her, not for them. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but she lost the pet parent lottery, ending up with those two fools.
I don't know.
It's because of them and their idiocy that she's suffering right now.
I think it's better to just ride it out a bit, but we'll see. Thanks, ECP. That anxiety alone would kill you. No, I'm all right. I'm all right.
I mean, I'm sure he could travel alone somewhere, get out of Syria, and even if he goes somewhere for, like, say, a few weeks or a month, while he's gone, he'll know that he's safe. And maybe things might be better to come back to Syria. Same thing with Chantal. She could go to Canada, or she could have gone. I don't know if she can go now. And at least she would have been home and safe. Even though they may have been apart, they would have been alone and safe versus together in a war zone. And if he loved her and if she loved him and they wanted to be smart, they would say to each other, look, let's just do what we need to do and split up for now. You go in one area, I'll go in another area, and at least we're alive and we're safe versus being here together and anything can pop off at any time.
No, I don't think they destroyed the statue. Was it? No, I don't think the sword got destroyed. I get you. You would rather live in danger with him than safely without him. And that is what love is all about. Thank you, Nina.
No, it's not love's obsession.
Thank you.
It's so sad. She is so against being alone. She doesn't know how to do alone by herself. She doesn't. She doesn't know how to do alone well. She doesn't know what to do with herself. She honestly doesn't know what to do, like how to spend her time. She's not interested in activities, nothing. She's just spinning in her own head if she's not with someone.
Yeah. Trying to leave now is more dangerous. Yeah, honestly, so what we're doing, what we're being advised to do is just stay put, stay in the house. So we're just staying in the house. Um, I think you're doing right by staying by your man.
You beezers need to stop backing her up on, oh, I understand you're there by your husband and you don't want to leave. Stop backing her up on her idiot choices. If you cared for her, you'd say, look, leave your husband and go home. He can go somewhere, you can go somewhere. Just be safe. Stop backing up her stupid idiot choices.
Thank you, Blooper World Order. He asked you not to come because he fears for your well-being, a huge responsibility with you there. He's got to be far more stressed. I think he would be even worse if I wasn't here now.
That's what you're telling yourself. You're trying to make it seem like you are a caring wife. If you were a caring wife, you wouldn't have gone in the first place. If I had a husband and my husband was in a dangerous place where there's war, I wouldn't go to that place. Even if I really, really loved my husband and that was my soulmate, I still wouldn't go there. If my husband said, I love you and I'm in danger here, and it'd be best for you to just stay put, I would stay put. So at least I was safe. And that would not be causing any grief or stress on my husband. And my husband, in turn, would feel good, at least knowing that his wife was safe somewhere else. I would not add to the stress by showing up where he is and saying, "Here I am." And then he's got to worry about me and him, keeping us both safe. Not sure if he can. Real love would do that.
You know, that's what he's worried for me, but of course he wanted me here at the same time.
No, he didn't. He did not want you there. He said so himself on live stream. I told you not to come. He said it on live stream. Don't come here.
Like, do you know what I mean? No, like, thank God, you know, that I hope this doesn't happen, but he seems to have had the sense to find a place for us that wasn't like it's pretty.
Kendall Starbuck says you're a liability. Exactly. She's a liability over there.
It's such a weird name, and it's like a small. It's like not. It's pretty close, like within kilometers of bombings. We can hear them, but it's not. It's that close to where it's like red zone, you know. So that's another reason we're just trying to, you know, yeah, your husband wants you there, you want to be together. Exactly. There's not much to explain. Yeah. But you know what?
I'm going to give my opinion on something. Chantal did not want to be in Canada because the mess that she created of her life while in Canada with her taxes and whatnot. But there were also other reasons why she did not want to be in Canada. Because if you guys noticed, when she was in Canada for the short period of time that she was there, whenever she would lie, she would get caught faster in her lies. She was getting called out left and right for her lies. When she's in the Middle East, it's a bit harder and it takes a bit longer to catch her in her lies. She can hide things a little bit better. But when she came back over to the States, oh, she was getting called out left and right. And she doesn't like that. She tries to say, I left Canada because I didn't want to deal with any obsessive haters. But Chantal, at least in Canada, you would have been safe. You would not have been in a war zone. So you could have been in Canada and been safe and maybe still dealt with the haters. But you chose to go to a war zone, which is dangerous. You made the wrong choice.
ECP, it's Gore World, right? Like, you'd think. But there's not really, it's not like a full, it's not, I don't know how to explain it. Wartime journalism, no thanks. I think some people forget that you don't owe anyone an explanation. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need to explain anything. Then proceed to do a live stream for almost 3 hours, oversharing. Okay.
So, yeah, he was reluctant at first to vary. He was, you know, worried for me coming here, of course, because then he'll have to worry about me. But I think, you know, he's seeing that I'm not a wreck. Like, I'm just being composed and collected.
Please. Please. I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm collected. Yet all you've done while being in Syria is complain about everything. Every stream you complain. And I bet you add more stress to Salah because you're always in need of food. You're always in need of water. You're always in need of electricity and blah, 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 blah. Complaining. Always complaining. And I bet it's taken a lot of food and party favors to keep you calm.
So Um, I have no idea if there's foreign journalists. I don't know. I could be in Canada, air conditioning, eating fast food and edibles. Um, while my husband is here with my cat in danger. Yeah, I could really enjoy myself. You're right.
Well, you should have thought about all of this before you got greedy and you went too far in Kuwait. If you had just minded your manners and followed the laws in Kuwait, none of this would have happened. If you had not grifted to the umpteenth degree where you went too far and you were using a kitten that you snatched from its mother while it was nursing off the street to grift money from people, and then you got called out for it, you wouldn't be in Syria, and neither would he. You might be in Kuwait right now with him, but you both went too far. He let you go too far. He didn't try to stop you when he could have and when he should have. You both blew up your deal in Kuwait by grifting too much, by going too far. You were Icarus, you flew too close to the sun, and it cost you big. Everywhere you go, you make a mess for yourself or whoever you're with. You blow up your life and you blow up their life too. And I'm going to say it again, Chantal. I know you don't want to hear it. If you don't think this law is ticked off about the fact that you blew up his life in Kuwait and he had to leave, if you don't think he's still mad about that, he is. He's harboring a grudge like nobody's business. He may be quiet about it, he may not let you know, but if you don't think he's feeling a certain kind of way about that, he is. And yet you trusted him. You still trust him. You don't think he wants revenge? I bet you he does. I bet he does.
Husband, what am I saying the word wrong in Austin? How would you say it? Like what? I'm not allowed to have a husband. I'm not allowed to have love somebody. I'm not allowed to have my own family. Like ride or die.
The way you go about having a family is disgusting. Paying for a man and saying, be my husband, even though he doesn't love you, disgusting. Snatching a cat off the street and putting it in your home and not caring for it properly, disgusting. Your idea of family is disgusting, Chantal.
Yes. My cat is fine. She's not in danger. Yeah, it does give you a whole new perspective and gratefulness on life.
But you're not grateful. I mean, I've been watching your live streams, Chantal. You haven't changed a bit. I don't see a change in your attitude. And I'm not saying that as a hater. I'm just saying that from the outside perspective, like I told you earlier, you're on the inside looking out. I'm on the outside looking in. I can tell you're not changing. You still feel entitled and spoiled, rotten, and people should just worship you wherever you go. And you're like the big deal. You have not changed. Despite all the things that you're seeing and that you have seen and you have experienced, it's not changing you.
Exactly. I feel like this is like a normal for the people who live here. Like this place has been seeing bombs and war and for many, many, many years. So Hmm. And I bet you the airports are not even sending out flights right now in Damascus. I would really, really, really doubt it.
Have you made the phone call? Have you called to ask the question? I mean, how long does it take to make a phone call? Hello, airport. I'm just checking. Is the airspace closed? Are there any flights going back to Canada? No? Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Have you made the phone call? You're not even checking to see.
I trauma dump on you? How?
You are.
You know you're not forced to be on my channel listening, right? Like, poor you, I trauma dump on you. Well, just tune out.
Speaking of trauma dumping, and this is something I have to comment on, man, there's a lot of people in her chat that they trauma dump like mad over there. They really do. It's like they overshare. They go too far. They trauma dump like crazy. Maybe they got things to say. Maybe they're going through some stuff. Okay, but there's also an element of everybody wants attention over there, especially her mods.
You know, God forbid I talk about what I want on my channel. If you had waited a month, you'd probably not be able to get in there at all. You'd be a wreck. Yeah, exactly. You know? So, so yeah, I'm not leaving right now. So,
And she can't leave right now. She's trying to put this narrative out there of I have the ability and the power to leave, and I'm staying there because I love my husband. I'm going to stay with my husband, but she's acting like she's got a choice. Right now she doesn't have a choice. Borders are closed, the airspace is probably closed. She's stuck where she's at and she can't leave. But she's trying to paint it as I can choose, and I choose this when there is no choice.
you never use the word husband. Well, you probably don't talk to, you know, a bunch of people publicly, thousands of people publicly either. Um,
And we're already getting started with the attention seeking. There's Tracy TX with her usual comment of, Chantal, please read my comment. Tracy, you do that all the time. All the time. Big shouty capital letters. Chantal, please read my comment. Why? Why, Tracy? Shut up.
I'm not thinking about haters at all in this situation. It's so self-important for people to think that I make any decision based on what others think about, like in times like this especially. Like, do you think I honestly care?
You know what your problem is, Chantal? Your problem is that you live completely online. And in your head, you've got this thing going on of it's me against them, spy versus spy. Have you ever read Mad Magazine? I grew up on Mad Magazine. Anybody remember Mad Magazine? If you did, you remember the section called Spy versus Spy. Same vibe, spy versus spy, one against the other. So it's you against girl world, spy versus spy. Who's going to win? This is real life. Don't treat this as it's me against them and I have to base my decisions on me against somebody else or me against a whole community. You got to step away from that and say, I got to do what's best for me, regardless of who doesn't like me or who's talking about me. You got this invisible war going on with girl world. Like you're so about living on the internet. Stop thinking that way. This is stupid. Being in a war zone when you don't have to is stupid. Living a life where you're like, I have to go completely against girl world and a community because I have to be right and I'm determined to win is stupid. You are the literal poker player sitting at the poker table, losing hand after hand after hand after hand after hand, losing all your chips, every single one. You're down to one chip. But rather than be smart and close out and stop the hemorrhaging, just say, okay, I'm down to one chip. I'm going to save this one chip because I need it for later. Just push your chair away from the table, get up and walk away as you should. Smart thing to do would be just leave. You'd rather sit at the table and gamble your last chip away. But what you going to do when you do that? What? Run across the room and get some extra credit for more chips and keep playing and keep losing? Newsflash. It's not about winning or losing at this point, Foodie. You've already lost. You have lost the game. You lost a long time ago. You just didn't want to admit it to yourself. Now, it's a question of how much do you want to lose? Do you want to lose it all? Do you want to lose everything, maybe even your life? You're headed that way. Or do you want to be smart and say, I've lost enough? I have allowed myself to lose a great many things, including a great portion of my health. And I'm not going to lose any more. It stops here. I'm going to stop the bleeding by stopping while I'm ahead. And I'm going to be smart. And I'm going to go home where I'm safe. And I'm not going to continue this losing game anymore. I'm going to do what's good for me, and I'm going to start winning by making better choices. Your pride, your narcissistic pride causes you to lose, causes you to keep losing. Aren't you tired of losing? Aren't you exhausted? You want to win? You know what you got to do.
Like, that's so odd that people think that, you know?
Oh, she cut out?
So, and Syria was, I mean, things are getting a bit bad now, but they were more stable, like I said.
And by the way, Shantel, you are incredibly selfish. You're across the world where your family can't reach you. If something happens to you, they can't reach out to you. They can't help you. If you went to a hospital, they couldn't visit you. You are incredibly selfish. You're in really bad health and you are far away from your family. If you were in Canada and you ended up at the hospital for anything, they could come see you. Maybe they could help you. But how incredibly selfish are you that you went all the way to Syria, far and away from your family? Your mother is probably worried sick, very worried sick that she will probably never see you again. And you're putting her through so much stress. And knowing that you're an addict, I want to say this to you. When you are an addict, when you're an active addict, the addiction hurts you, of course. It affects you in perhaps a great many ways. But the horrible thing about addiction is not only does it hurt you and you're going through pain and suffering, you're going through your own little private battle with it, but unfortunately, the circle of damage is larger than you think because it includes family or friends that care about you. You're so down in it with the addiction, with going through the addiction and dealing with it and keeping it fed. You don't realize the harm that it does to those people around you. Your family, your friends, they feel helpless because they can't stop you from hurting yourself. All they can do is watch and hope for the best. So you may be going through it with the addiction, but guess what? The people that care about you, they're going through it too. They're stressed out. They're worried. They're wondering if they're going to get that phone call, that horrible phone call that you're no longer alive or something bad has happened to you. Wondering if that phone call is going to come or not. If you disappear and they never hear from you and they wonder what happened, you're putting your family through that. But you're so wrapped around Salah, you're not thinking about that.
You know, a lot of people were coming here for tourism. Do you think people like Mark Weens and big major YouTubers would come here for tourism and not, and act like
Chantal, if somebody were to jump off a bridge, would you follow them? Don't answer that question. So if somebody goes over there being a vlogger, you got to do it too. You just got to do it. You don't have to do what other people do.
uh, you know, with Assad gone, it would be, it's not about being defiant.
It is.
It's not about being defiant.
Yeah, it's about being obsessive.
It's about I'm not leaving my family here.
Remember what I told you guys in a tarot reading? Her feeling of she's holding Salah in the palm of her hand and wrapping her fingers around him, because the feeling, that the energy that I got off Foodie during a tarot reading was the desperation is real, y'all. She's lost. Okay, wrong word. She hasn't lost so much. She's let go of so much. She didn't just hold on to it and it disappeared. She let it go. She let go of her home in Canada. She let go of Pete's. She let go of her pets. She let go of her life there just to go running after men. And now she's down to almost nothing. Salah is literally all she has left of her time of being on YouTube and making all kinds of money. Those days are over. She can't make the money that she used to. He's like the last one standing, the last sucker that she could sucker into her game, and there's no one else. There's no one else sitting in the lobby with a number saying, I'll take his place. Nope. So she's like, he's all I've got. And if I lose him, there's no one around to take his place. And I need someone around. So I can't let him go. It's not love. It is desperation, and it is obsession at its most toxic and codependent.
That's it. So I know the dangers. It's not. I can't say I don't care, but it's just that
Maybe says fake love goes hard. Yes, it does.
I'm not scrolling all the way up to read a comment. Sorry. Message me privately, Tracy.
Oh, K2 has a great comment saying they got in and they got out, talking about the YouTubers. They didn't move there. Wow, Chantal, big difference. Exactly. So she keeps talking about different YouTubers that have gone to Syria and they film stuff. The YouTubers that go to Syria, whatever they film, they don't post anything until they're back at home base. They don't go live. They didn't go live. They didn't post anything until they were out of Syria. They got in, they did their vlog, they left. They didn't move there. They didn't make it into a permanent residence. She's trying to.
Yeah, the borders are probably closed. Oh, I think I saw your comment about passing away. I'm not thinking about that, Tracy.
You should be thinking about that. I know it's an ugly, ugly thought. Nobody likes to think about when your time has come. None of us know when our time is up and the ticket has been punched and we're going to leave this mortal coil. We don't want to think about that. But it happens. Mortality is a thing. But Chantal, you're someone, you've got serious health problems. Serious, not minor, very, very major. You're in a place where if something happened to you, you can't go to the hospital. There's no hospital to go to. None. Like, what if something happened? You're screwed.
Anything new, you know? Yeah.
Snake Charmer says, but you left them in Kuwait quick, fast, in a hurry when you were worried about some charges. This is your actual life. So saying you won't leave your family doesn't make sense. You already did. Sure did. That last live stream in Kuwait, she's like, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Did she take Salah with her? Did they go anywhere together? Nope. No, they did not. She hightailed it to Canada and left him in Kuwait to deal with the mess.
You left them in Kuwait quick, fasting in a hurry because, yeah, but that's different, Snake Charmer.
Why is it different? You were still married, right? What made it different?
It's different.
How? Explain.
You don't know, like, the complete circumstances. You don't know what had to happen, like how it unfolded, etc. after that. So
Then explain it to us. You're saying you don't know, then let us know. What happened?
yeah, exactly, ABC. Like, I know my situation, you know. Thanks, Nervous Rider. Thank you, JC. Well, to pass the time stuck inside, we just got stuck inside. You might hear Salah snoring beside me.
He's not there. He's not sleeping in that room. He might even be leaving you alone. Like that whole basement area might just be for you. He don't want to be in the same room as you.
Hey, Danny Love. If the power will completely go out? It depends. No, actually, because
Oh, this super chat. Paperclip says, stop saying, after every sentence. Yeah, I hate that too.
even if they destroy the power infrastructure even more, we have solar power. So Duolingo. Yeah, so why he came to Syria is personal, and yeah, that's all I can say. Her haters do not want her leaving. Yeah, there are actually people who wish death upon me, and
Okay, stop right there. This is where I correct you. There have been many reactors and reaction channels that have said repeatedly, you need to go back to Canada. You should have never left. Don't you sit there and say that we wish death upon you, that we want you to stay in Syria. We're not saying that. I'm in different reactors' chats, either lurking or in the chat. Those of you that have been in other people's chats, you've seen me. I like to go into other people's chats and talk and be part of the discussion. I love that. I love talking with people in the live chats. There are many wonderful reaction channels out there that do the live chats, and I just love to have fun with everybody and hear the comments. But nobody's wishing death upon her. I have not seen that, honestly. But I'll tell you what, Chantal, I think truly and honestly that you're wishing death upon yourself. You were wishing that upon yourself in Kuwait with all the mukbangs, just going full steam ahead with that. And I don't know, maybe perhaps in a sad way, you want to pass away in Syria. Maybe you're taking the point of view of, I know my health is bad and I've got a whole lot of secrets. So if something happens to me, my secrets will go with me. Maybe you're thinking that way. Maybe you just arrived at a place where you just don't care and whatever happens, happens. I don't know. Like, I'm not speaking for you. I'm just telling you the energy that you're putting out. Like, the energy is, I don't care. I really don't care.
Whatever. I don't care what they think. But honestly, like, if you're that type of person, it's really strange. You should really
And on that note, yet again, those of you in Chantal's chat that know about her food addiction, and she's talked about it multiple times, and all of her health problems, those of you encouraging her to eat and eat and eat, I gotta say it, all of you are wishing her to maybe end up in the hospital or something. Because I don't understand those who say they care for somebody, know that that person's an addict, and encourage an addict in their addiction. I mean, that's just devious.
reevaluate your life. Or, I mean, I'll just pray for you that, if you have that lack of a heart, it's worrying that there's people like that in the world. Thank you, Tammy. I do care about myself.
No, you don't. You don't care about yourself. Truly, you haven't cared about yourself in years. Sliding door moment, y'all. Imagine for a moment what Foodie's life would be like if she hadn't wandered onto YouTube and gotten monetized. Just imagine. Sliding door moment. What would her life have been like had she not gotten on YouTube and not become Foodie Beauty? What her life would be like if she didn't have a channel to 108,000 subscribers? More than likely, she'd be a lot healthier. She wouldn't have been able to indulge in the food and the party favors and the impulses and the cravings as much as she has. What would her life be like if she was strictly Chantal Marie versus Foodie Beauty? Because she lost touch with Chantal Marie years ago. And the persona Foodie Beauty swallowed up Chantal Marie whole. There is no Chantal Marie anymore. There's only the persona, and the persona is toxic. It's toxic for her, and it's toxic for everybody else. Viewers, family members, friends alike. The persona and the addictions have swallowed her whole. And it's ready to push her down its throat and be done with her. Absolutely be done with her.
And I just put my faith in God, and whatever happens, we'll see.
I'm going to tell you guys a story right here, right now. And there might be some religious aspects to it. It's a story that I heard, and I'll always remember because there's a message in it. So I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick because it matters to what she's saying. She says, I'm going to put my faith in God. So here's the story. There was a man who lived in a village. He was sitting in his house watching TV when a news report came on the TV. The weatherman came on and said that in his village that there would be continuous rain, which would lead to a flood within a matter of days. The man saw the program and he said, "I'm not worried. God will protect me." Sure enough, it started to rain. It rained a lot. The water started to rise. The water got to about his doorstep. He gets a knock at the door. It's the neighbors. The neighbors are saying, "We're leaving our homes because the water is going to keep rising. You should come with us." The man said, "It's okay. God will protect me." And they left. The water kept rising. The water got into his house, is all over his floor. Another knock at the door. It's the sheriff. The sheriff said, "Sir, you really need to evacuate. The water's going to keep rising. It's going to be on your roof within 24 to 48 hours. You really need to come out with us. Get out of here." The man said, "I'm not worried. God will protect me." So the sheriff left. The water kept rising and rising and rising until the water was indeed at the roof level. So the man's on his roof. He can no longer be in his house. Here's a helicopter. Rescue team. Helicopter is above the man saying, "Sir, we're going to put down a ladder. You need to get on the ladder. You need to come with us. This flood is not going to stop, sir. You need to come with us. The whole village will be underwater in a matter of half an hour." The man said, "Don't worry. God will protect me." Unfortunately, the man passed away. So the man goes to heaven and he sees God. And he looks at God and says, "Why didn't you protect me?" And God looked at him and said, "Are you kidding me? I sent a weather report. I sent your neighbors. I sent the sheriff. I even sent a helicopter. I did try to protect you." So protection can come from in many forms. Like you got to help yourself at some point, you know? And she's saying, "God will protect me." And yet, Chantal, you have had all kinds of signs and protectors and helpers and truth tellers around you, warning you, and you've not listened to a single one of them. Not one. You are not seeing the protection. You're not paying attention.
Yeah. Hey, Mons. I'm not also not trying to downplay the situation. Like, we just don't know what's going, you know. I'm not, did I complain, guys? Like the super chat said, did I complain? Did I sit here and say, "Oh my gosh, like what did I do coming here?" Like, no.
Chantal, you complain every stream, every live. You're complaining, "Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot, guys." You're always telling us how hot it is. What do you want us to do? Turn off the sun? If the heat bothers you, go somewhere else.
When did I ever complain?
You do nothing but complain.
When did I complain? I'm pretty calm, yes.
Yeah, when you're effed up.
Deftones Andy, "Oh Allah, we make you a shield against them and seek refuge in you from their evils. This dua is for protection."
Oh, Pumpy says not tonight, but we heard what Salah said a while ago. Yep, he said on live stream, he put her on blast. He aired her out saying, "You lost the challenge. You said you wouldn't complain when you came here, and that's all you've done." He aired her all the way out saying that.
Protection from enemies or those who wish harm. Thank you, Deftones. I mean, thank you. Appreciate that prayer. Hey Maxine, sorry guys if I'm missing comments. Like it's really just I'm just
I'm sure that she's scared. She has to be scared. And I'm pretty sure that she's cried a lot. Anybody that's seen her streams or even pictures of her for her thumbnails, you can tell she's been crying. Her eyes are swollen. But Chantal will never admit that, again, she made a bad choice, that she's scared for her safety, anything, because in her mind, if she comes on camera and she says, I'm scared, I'm really scared, guys, I made a bad choice, I made a bad call, that would mean the reaction channels would say, we were right. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want the reaction channels to be right. She refuses to let us be right, even though we are.
kind of tuned out. Thank you. Yeah.
And there's no shame in saying, I'm scared. There's no shame in saying, I was wrong. We all do wrong. We all make a bad choice. It's part of being human. But she won't admit to being human.
Selective hearing, yes. Does your burner leak common carbon monoxide? That's like another thing. Like, why do people like? Do you know how many people use these every day for cooking? This is like what mainly people cook on here.
Yeah, outside. That burner you showed was supposed to be used outside. It is not something you use inside the house, Chantal.
Every day. I mean, so no, I don't think that, actually the way they heat in the winter too is with these like I forget the name he said, but um anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm okay and um I'm not leaving right now anyway. I don't know if I will in the future. Um if we will in the future, I don't know. But right now, it looks like Israel's just bombing the military bases. Um,
Oh, here we go. There's drama in the chat. So Nina is complaining about Tracy because Tracy's being stupid, and Tracy's going off on Nina, saying, "Excuse me, Nina, harassing you? No, ma'am. Tracy, you act all kinds of bossy and sassy in Chantal's chat, and you forget it is Chantal's chat, not yours. But that is Chantal's responsibility to reel you back in."
so, inshallah, there won't be any more. Maybe the ceasefire will hold. But I think that um, I think the political motivation behind it is not just what is being said. I don't
Again, Chantal, do not speak on political anything while over there. Don't talk about that.
think that. I think that Syria is unfortunate, like just a feeling, and I hope I'm wrong. Just really far away from and any stability at all, and that's really sad.
Chantal is concerned about preserving her quote unquote family in Syria. But what about her actual family in Canada that she's related to, that she knows, and that she cares about, that care about her? No concern about how they feel.
Because I think
So, all the concern about the fake, phony, on camera YouTube family, but not about the one she left behind in her home country. That's messed up.
so many innocent, like, forget about the military, forget about the political groups. Think about the people who really suffer here, like a lot of innocent, just regular civilians. Just they're the ones who suffer in the long run, in the end. So yeah, that's war exactly. So many, yes, children. Prayers for them all. Yeah. So
Yeah, and those people that live in Syria are probably looking at you like, why are you even here when you had the choice to be in Canada where you are free, where you are safe? Why did you come here? They're probably looking at you like you don't have a brain. Like they live there, they don't have a choice to leave. But you had a choice not to be there. They're looking at you like, why did you come here in the middle of all of this?
um
Snake Charmer says you put clickbait on the title. Why didn't you put I am not worried about things? Because Chantal clickbaits people. She wants those views. She wants you guys to be concerned and worried over her and rush to her live stream and say, what's going on, Chantal? Hey, Beezers, here's something you may not know. A long, 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 long time ago, when Chantal first started her channel, when there were bits and pieces of Chantal Marie around and it wasn't completely foodie beauty, she put out a video, a helpful advice video to other YouTubers about how to grow a channel and get the views. I reacted to that video. It's somewhere on my channel, but I included it as a react. And in that advice video, do you know what she said to people? As far as how to grow a channel and how to get the views on a video, part of her advice was to use a clickbait title. Take something small and make it into something big. Get attention that way. She was advertising to use clickbait as a way to get views. And what do you know? She's still using that system. Ain't that something?
I don't want anyone to die. I'm not taking any sides in this. I'm not we are
In my opinion, as a YouTuber, as a content creator, I have a code of ethics. I don't think it's very nice for a YouTuber to do a title like this and get people who are subscribed to you worried, stressed out, their blood pressure through the roof. They rush over to the live stream because they're concerned about you. I think it's horrible, horrible tactics to do that to people. Shouldn't be done. But that's what Chantal does. That's what she's always done. Using worry and stress to make money.
not pro war. We are not pro anyone getting killed and hurt. Regardless of your religion, we're not like that. It's awful. So yeah, thanks, Bitchy. I don't feel like it's the thing for me to do is to leave him. There's just,
I'm sure he'd be fine. It's not like he'd be in Syria all by himself. You said yourself earlier, he's got friends and he's got family there. He'll be okay. Even if there were no family and friends, he's a grown man. I'm sure he could take care of himself. He's not a 5-year old. He's like in his 30s. He knows how to take care of himself. He can take care of himself better than you can take care of yourself. So stop trying to paint this picture of if you leave Syria, he's going to fall apart. He won't know what to do. He does know what to do. He was living there before you even showed up, right? So he should be fine. It's not him that would fall apart. It's you. It's so you.
just I think that now that I'm here, he's like happy and just wants to stay
No, he's not happy. No, he's not.
put for now, and he doesn't seem worried at all. I think he would. I don't know. A Western spy, yeah, right.
I'm sure he's very worried about you, about your mouth, and the fact that you either run your mouth or you need to stuff your mouth. He's probably worried about you wanting food all the time. And is there going to be food to give you? Or maybe party favors to keep you quiet. He might be worried about the attention that I'm sure that you're drawing to the both of you. And you might have targets on your back because of your presence. I'm sure he's worried about a lot.
Right. No. No. Well, you can't please everyone, Tracy. Some people will not like you just for having love for me, you know? So you're helping him pay his bills. I haven't had access to money of my own since I got here. So
Yeah, because he controls the money. He's controlling your money. You're under his control. I told you, Shantel, did I not tell you? Before you went to Syria, did I not tell you? Didn't all the tarot readers tell you? We warned you. I told you that if you went to him, wherever he was, the tables would be turning. You'd be under his thumb, his control, versus him being under yours. And he does control you. You're in a position where you can't leave. You don't know anybody. You can't even use a food app to get food. You depend on him for everything. He's got you in the palm of his hand. He's got you. And if he wanted to screw you over, it would be so easy. You are not in the power position anymore. You're not sitting in the throne. He is. Told you that before you even went to Syria. Did you listen? No. No, you didn't.
no. But whatever. People are always going to think that. People are always going to think, you know, we're not married, whatever. That I'm so not concerned about little trivial things like that right now. You know,
Even if the marriage was real, it's not worth sticking around for. If you're really married to Salah, is it a happy marriage? Is it making you happy? Are you getting everything out of it that you want? Can you truly look me or anybody else in the eye and say, I am with my person and they are with me and we are soulmates and we're connected and we are each other's best friend? You could never say that, Chantal, because you and I both know that the moment you stop making money and giving him money, he's gone. It is a relationship that is based on money. You give him money, he sticks around. You stop making money, he disappears. Your worth is determined by your paycheck. If the love were real, you wouldn't have to pay for it. It would just be there for free. If you're really married to Salah, it is an unhappy, lonely, miserable marriage. And it's not worth hanging on to. Not at all. Maybe you feel differently, though.
think what you want. The main roads and airports are closed. Yeah. Yeah, we're here for now. We're stuck here. Hey, Bear. Yeah, I'm okay. Who cares? Y'all are married. Both of your money belongs to each other. Yeah, that's true. Like, in a way, you know, Superboy, like, it's not really, you know, every married couple I know is like that. Yeah, they're a family, so. Um, but after what I went through with
Oh, she's about to start talking about Nader. How long has it been, y'all, since she's been with Nader? Like years already. Miss I was abused. He was so awful to me, DV and all that. Miss I'm supposed to be a victim, and yet real victims would never bring up the person who hurt them again and again and again and again and again. Yet she does. She's in her live stream right now. She doesn't have to bring him up, but yet she's going to. Why? Because she still thinks about him. I told you, she is still obsessed with Nader. Why? Because she's addicted to Nader. And we all know how she is with her addictions. There's not a single addiction that this woman has that she's in recovery for. And what happens when you're not in recovery for your addictions? Your addictions are still active. They're still ongoing. She never got over Nader. She's still obsessed with Nader. Her narcissistic pride won't leave it alone. She just can't get over the fact that she did everything that she could do. She pulled every dirty trick out of her purse that she could find, trying to own him, and it just did not work. And in the end, she lost. But there's still a part of her that still wants to win that battle. She still wants to have him, just to have him, just to say, I won, Dee Dee. You don't have my man anymore. She wants to win that battle. She just can't get over the fact that she lost it. She was such a sore loser that she settled for another man that she didn't love. Salah. Salah was a get back, was a rebound. That was a revenge thing on Nader. Oh, you told me I'd never be a traditional wife. Well, I'll just show you. And I'm going to give this man everything that I gave you and more. And he's younger and he's more attractive and blah, blah, blah. I'll show you, Nader. She was so hell-bent on showing Nader that she carried on with this thing with Salah for 3 years. And it went nowhere. It went down the same path that she took with Nader. She didn't learn her lesson with Nader, so she went to summer school with Salah with the same result. You still ended up with a man that doesn't care about you, that all he cares about is your money. You're just his pay pig. It's all about money. And if you say that I'm a liar, Shantel, let's put it to the test. Cut him off. Don't give him any more money. See what happens. I bet you won't. I bet you won't walk up to Salah and say, I ain't got no more money for you. I'm not giving you a single red cent. Bet you just won't do that because you know what'll happen next. He'll take off. He won't deal with you. You know it's all based on money. That's all you're worth to him is a paycheck. And once the paycheck goes away, he goes away. He doesn't care about you as a woman. He doesn't value you as a woman, as a human being with a soul and a heart. He doesn't see you that way. He cares about what he can get out of you. And I think deep down you know that, but you don't want to face the truth because you have let go of so much in your life. He's all you got left. And even though he's not worth much, you'll hold on to him anyway.
You know, previous encounter, relationship with someone that's just awful. I just said, I'm never gonna, I'll never be taken advantage of financially.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shh. I'll never be taken advantage of. Shantel, you weren't taken advantage of. It was transactional. You had a need. Nader had a need. You had the need for companionship. You wanted a guy on camera you could put on camera and you can say, where's your husband? Where's your man? And he had a need for your money. So you both came together and you made an agreement. You give me money, you support me, you pay my bills, you pay my internet, you buy my groceries, and I'll come on camera with you. Much like the deal you have with Salah. Transactional. There was never any love exchanged from him to you. But you've always tried to fool yourself into thinking, if I pay for enough stuff, eventually he'll fall in love with me. Or if I'm around him enough, I can wear him down to the nub like I did Pete's, and he'll just surrender and be in a relationship with me anyway. You thought the path to love was paved with money. No. No. Did not work. Didn't work with Nader. not working with Salah. You made the same mistake twice. Well done. Applause. Applause everywhere. The road to love is not paved with money, not long lasting love, not soulmate, bond love. Never will be. If you have to buy the love, it ain't real. It's the Timu version. It's fake, it's phony, it's not genuine, it's not sincere, it's not strong. But let's really clarify things, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, she tries to paint the picture that Nader was abusive, and I have no doubt that he was a mean, nasty human being. No doubt about that. But let's see the whole picture. The one that she doesn't want her beezers to see or acknowledge because she wants to give her version of things. I think they were both abusive people. I think they were both bullheaded, stubborn, fiery, hot-headed people that locked horns a lot because they both wanted to dominate each other. I think if he was abusive in any way, so was she. They like to play games with one another. They like to manipulate each other and control each other and go back and forth. And Shantel did make the comment long ago. She loved the drama. She loved the fighting. She loves that negative attention. And Nader gave her a lot of it. But then again, she gave it right back. But her trying to paint this picture of, I'm the victim, not going to wash with me. Because she willingly, knowingly, and eagerly got involved with him. And she could have left him alone at any time. She had her own place. She had her own money. She was making money on YouTube. She drove to his house over and over and over and over again when she did not have to. She chose to carry on with him. Every single time. Even when he moved to Montreal, she would drive 2 hours there and 2 hours back to sneak off to go see him. This guy that she claimed was being abusive. Who does that as a victim of DV? I'm a victim, but I'm going to go drive 2 hours to go see my abusive person. Please. 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 You know what I went through with Nader? You mean what you put yourself through with Nader? What you chose to put yourself through. You chose that, just as you're choosing this situation right here, right now.
Actually, ever again. Like, there's no way. So, yeah. And nobody should. Nobody should. A relationship is not 100-0. It's, and in his culture, it's more so on the man. And I think that's why he's so stressed out with me coming here, because he knows he has to take care of me. So I'm trying to be really self-sufficient.
You don't know how to be self-sufficient. You have no survival instinct. You don't know how to take care of yourself. When you're faced with a situation where there's not much to work with, you don't know how to think your way around a problem and figure something out. You're as helpless as a baby.
And be supportive and being, not complaining about the situation. And I think I've been less complaining than him sometimes. Like, sometimes it's a new life for him too. He was never lived here. But the way we see it, I guess, is oh yeah, they're still refilling water. Life is pretty much going on as usual. Sadly,
Speaking of the water, I know this is kind of a side issue, but Chantal, you're living in a building with other people. There's one water tank for the whole building. Stop being a pig when it comes to the water. People need that water. Whatever it is you're doing with the water, stop wasting it. I'm sure the people in the building, they're used to the things going on in Syria and the shortages, and so they are very conservative with what they use. You are extremely wasteful. Stop that. People need water to drink. Everybody needs water. So if you're over there wasting water, cut that out.
I feel like, this is nothing new for people who live in Syria. And honestly, Syrians, Palestinians, some of the strongest people in the world, they have years and years of this kind of treatment from other countries around them. They've had to live in war for probably their whole lives. Um, it's just, you know, so uh, Haley, I'm still being paid by YouTube for my videos.
Well, that might change in the future. I mean, I'm not interfering, but you are making money illegally. You are breaking the law by doing monetized videos on YouTube, and you are in Syria. That is against TOS. What are you going to do if you get demonetized, Chantal? Then what?
So, no.
So you're not just risking your very life by being in Syria in a war zone, you're also gambling your channel and demonetization, your livelihood. Well, you're putting all your chips on one number. Is it worth it?
People act like I'm the only person. I'm not talking about you, Haley, but people act like I'm the only person to make videos here.
Chantal, we've explained this in detail. Even the vloggers that have gone to Syria, they did it the right way. They got work permits, they got a work visa, everything was above board. They crossed their T's and dotted their I's. When they went out to vlog, they had guides, they even had security. They filmed the footage and they did not post it to their channels until after they were back home. No one did live streams over there. No one but you.
No. Anyway, because you can always get out. More so than him, yes. If you see that, I recognize that, but I'm not leaving. Teardrop, hi. And Tracy, hi. I feel like I have to give you equal highs.
I think she would leave. If Salah left, if he went somewhere else, she would leave. Because Salah is her anchor for being there. So if he pulled up anchor and went somewhere else, she would go home. I mean, throughout the history of Foodie Beauty, if you look back to the pages of her history, in every situation, in a lot of situations, the men in her life, the only way they were able to get Foodie to detach from them is to force her to let go. She did not let go on her own. Pete's, I feel, was the exception. And that's because Pete's arrived at a place where she conquered that mountain. He became really passive and submissive to her. And I'll do what you say, Chantal. And she conquered that mountain. There was no more challenge. She wants a challenge. So she used Pete to the umpteenth degree, and then she let him go, sort of. She still stays in touch with him just in case he might get something or have something that she needs, and she needs some kind of help, and then she can call on him. She likes to put the men in her life in her back pocket and hold them there so that if she needs them again. But in the case of BB, he had to have somebody move in just to get Chantal to leave him alone. Nader had to get Dee Dee to move in and then move to Montreal to get Chantal to detach. You got to force her to let go. She's not going to do it on her own.
Okay. Can you go to Istanbul? Stay safe. Talk to locals. Thanks, Rice Noodles. That's maybe also a big reason we don't feel.
When it comes to Chantal, you can't just shut the door on her. You have got to lock it and bar the door, or she'll try to come back in.
feel as we do have a lot of people around us who are very helpful. Like it's like a huge community, Syria. Everyone helps everyone else, and so you know,
Oh, I don't know about this. Lucas Werner says next month the YouTube revenue will end. They don't do business with Syria, darling. I don't know if that's true, but that's an interesting comment.
um, they don't do business with Syria.
Nope.
There's no business.
Um, you streaming in Syria is against TOS. That's against TOS for YouTube, and it's also against Syrian law. You cannot be in Syria and make money, even online, Chantal. You don't have a work permit. You don't have a work visa. You're earning money while in Syria. So you're breaking not just YouTube's terms of service, but also Syrian law. And if caught, ooh, that's going to be bad.
I'm Canadian. I have a
And so what? You're Canadian. So what? You're breaking laws.
Canadian account.
And so what? You're a Canadian making money in Syria. You're streaming from Syria, and it can be proved because you're showing Syria in your videos, Chantal. You're not going to win this argument.
And I travel and I make videos wherever I go.
You're not traveling. You're practically living there. You're still there.
That's the extent of it. You know. Thank you for the BK. It was all Deirdre. Thank you. Aw. My pleasure. My pleasure. I wanted you to have that Whopper. You know. Which I could go for right now. I'm so hungry. Where's Scrape? Yeah, but well, Scrape is here. Oh yeah, hi Scrape. Haven't seen you in a while. Me too. I don't have much food. I'm so hungry.
Don't you dare complain about food. Don't you dare. You just went to KFG and had that huge feast. Don't you dare complain when I'm sure the people of Syria have far less food than you, beast. Don't you dare complain about food. Don't you dare complain about anything. Stop it.
Maybe I should make something small. Teardrop had it her way at the Burger King. Yeah. You sent BK to Teardrop. I'm blind with envy, Rosemary's.
Okay, you know what, guys? This react is at almost 3.5 hours. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make a part 2 to this because it is so long. And then we're going to continue this. So I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to break this up into 2 parts. So this is part 1. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on part 2. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.